Michael Huntley,
Neil Dunn,
Henry Coe,
Archie Sam,
Ashley Coleman,
David Evans,
Derek Coulson,
Alex Small,
Jack Twill,
Jack Aldridge, Scott Taylor,
Scott Robertson.
Last night truly was special, but what have we got in store tonight in the final session before Champions Night? Very good evening to you. Half the lineup is set for Champions Night tomorrow night. We need 3 more players. 2 will be eliminated. Which 2? Your guess is as good as mine. So we need some expert opinion, and that is why Matthew Edgar is still alongside us. Matt, what an incredible night we witnessed here last night.
Oh, it was superb, wasn't it? It was everything we expected it to be. We gave it the big billing, and it really did deliver. The only player maybe a little bit off the pace was Neil Duff, but that's only in regards to the results. The performance was pretty much there. He could really be an ace in the pack tonight.
Group C finished this afternoon with 2 players qualifying. It's Archie Self and Jack Aldridge, the 2 names in gold there. You have to feel some sympathy for Michael Huntley, who was fantastic, the underdog for the week, coming oh so close to qualification for Champions Night. But it's Archie Self, it's Jack Aldridge, and Matt, you just have to say, despite the efforts of Michael Huntley and arguably the disappointment of Jack Tweddle, that class did shine through in the end.
Oh, 100%. Archie Self was probably the best player in every box in that Group C campaign. He really did kick into form midway part through Wednesday, and then he's been on it ever since. Every single aspect of his game was superb. When we look at the scoring power, the finishing, the checkouts, the timing, the reactions, and I called him a naughty darter earlier as well. I like him, he's a cheeky chappy, but he's a cheeky chappy on the dartboard, and that is just the confidence coming out in him. It's not arrogance in any way, shape or form. He's a very confident, self-assured young man, and he is one heck of a dart player. He is going to be a serious, serious danger tomorrow night. And do you know what his biggest attribute is? He just does not care. He does not care for reputation. He's going to go up there and do his job.
Yeah, the 16-year-old will be back here tomorrow night, as will Jack Aldridge, a player who you have kept a keen eye on all year, well, ever since Q School, really. And again, he's going to be a huge danger tomorrow.
Lovely free-throwing action, and it really did work for him at times. The most important thing is, what is he like when he needs the result? What is he like under pressure? He got better. He rose to the occasion. And Saturday night is all about rising to the occasion. It's not about being consistent. It's not about putting together a Group A campaign where you're playing 15 matches over 3 days. It's a different kettle of fish on Saturday. Saturday's about the explosive players. Jack Aldridge is explosive. He's got a genuine shot.
Oh, he really does. The pressure on Aldridge turned him into an absolute diamond. A fantastic trait to have going into tomorrow. We can now take a look at the updated breakdown then for this 14th edition of Champions Week. We know full well Ashley Coleman, off the back of winning Group A, has had 2 days off. He's had his feet up, letting the remaining 11 battle it out. Archie Self and Jack Aldridge through from Group C, and 3 from 5 will qualify tonight from Group B. You mentioned Neil Duff last night going the wrong way, but Derek Coulson did it the wrong way on Wednesday, 0 from 5, but came back magnificently, and that is why he is still the 11-5 favourite. But interestingly, Jack Aldridge back into second favouritism now at 100-30. Coleman in at 4-1. Matt, where does your eye cast to?
Archie Self caught the eye. He did this afternoon, and I said, if you like the odds of Archie Self, take him now, because if he gets to the evening session and he's still in, half the odds, and that's where we are now. With half the odds, the value though is still there. 9-2 is amazing price on a player with the quality of Archie Self, with no scar tissue whatsoever. However, I said Derek Coulson at the start, and I've seen nothing to deter me that Derek Coulson won't get over the line.
He was fantastic last night. If you did miss last night's action, here's a reminder.
To run the card on Thursday night in his debut Champions Week campaign. He's already taken out a 144 tonight. Can he take it out again for the 9? Double 12. Scott Robertson with a Champions Week night
Scott
starter.
Robertson.
Match start.
Game
Taken.
shot and a match.
Flawless.
Scott Taylor.
Time he does not need. What a performance that was from Henry Coates. Average just under 104. So this to wrap it up for Scott Taylor to get win number 2 of the night. Double 14s there. And the former champ puts himself right in the mix.
Did warn you, it was an absolute cracker here yesterday evening. Derek Coulson, 4 wins out of 4, top of the table on 8 points, but then it really does open up. Scott Taylor, Scott Robertson and Henry Coates all in there on 4 points, with Neil Duff yet to register a win, but write him off at your peril. But, Matthew Edgar, despite Derek Coulson going through the card last night, I would argue he wasn't the pick. It was Scott Robertson.
Absolutely. Scott Robertson was fantastic. He played so well in those first 2 games and didn't get a result, but he's riding the crest of the wave, isn't he? This has come at the perfect time for him. Hasn't had time to really take stock and let sink in the success he had. It's just all joyful at the moment. And he was brilliant, wasn't he? Brilliant in the response to those 2 defeats. Coming out, he hit the 9 darter to get over the line, picking up his first win at Champions Week and his first win of the group after back-to-back defeats. I can't speak highly enough of how well Scott Robertson played, and he's another one where you say right off at your peril, because those odds suggest that he's not got much of a chance, but from the evidence of what we've seen, he is a lively contender. It would not surprise me at all to see him here tomorrow night.
Couldn't agree more. He's never going to get tired of seeing that 9 darter, his first ever career 9 darter, under the lights in front of the cameras. But Derek Coulson did what Derek Coulson does, and 4 wins out of 4. We've seen a bit of everything from him here this week. Normally we're used to him breezing through Group A, having those 2 days off, and turning up here on Champions Night, where it never really seems to happen for him. But could this be a good experience for him?
Do you know what? If you would have asked me the same question about any other player, I would start to paint the picture and I'd start to tell the story. And the story I'd try and paint and put forward is that of, we don't know what we're going to get tonight. We've seen Derek Coulson lose all his games, then the very next day win them all. And I'd be going, are we going either end of those extremities once again, or are we going somewhere in the middle? With Derek Coulson, you don't do that because he's ultra consistent, he's ultra reliable. That Wednesday performance was so out of the blue and so unexpected. I don't really expect to ever see it again any week, never mind this week. So I'm not even going to bother trying to push that one through. Derek Coulson performs again tonight and he qualifies.
Interesting. So favourite for the week, and with a flawless record in Group B, he is of course favourite to win the group as well. He is 1-4 to do so. Is it all about the remaining 4 playing for second and third? That is what's going to be on their respective minds.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously everyone wants to win the group. There's more money, there's a bit of pride on it as well, and it does matter to the players. Absolutely. I've been in there myself and in those positions where you've already qualified, and absolutely you do want to win those groups. However, there is the main thing. Be here on Saturday night. That is what the players are playing for. That's what they want. And positions 2 and 3, 100% that's on the mind. Position 3 by legs difference, position 3 by legs 1. It does not matter because tomorrow night you're in.
It's going to go down to the wire, isn't it? Right, let's get underway. It's Scott Taylor against Henry Coates to open up the show this evening. Earlier on tonight, Henry Coates caught up with Henry Deacon.
Henry, fair to say a strange old night in Group B last night across the board. What would be your take on the 4 points you got?
Definitely strange. Played well in the first 2 against Neil and Scott, and then let Derek off the hook early in game that I should have taken the doubles, but it's the way it is. And then played Scott in the last one, and he just played well, and I missed odd dart at a double, but that's the way it goes.
Did the standard last night epitomise everything that Champions Week's all about?
Yeah, exactly that. It was one of them, you knew at the start of the week it was going to be hard. And I must say, I didn't realise how hard it was going to be myself. But yeah, every player's there for a reason, and it showed with the standard.
In terms of tonight, is it a case of a similar points total being enough to get you through?
I'm not too sure, really. My aim tonight would just be to win, and it's taking them opportunities. So I'll just see where I am at the end at night.
Because of the tightness of the table, the fact you're out to bat first, does that help, particularly the fact you're playing somebody on 4 points like yourself?
Yeah, I think with the way of the play I've got tonight, I have a 2 games break after each game, so it sort of gives me the same time to prepare and get ready for the next game.
And now we're at the sprint at the end of the marathon. The next 24 hours, they could be perhaps the biggest 24 hours you've had yet.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what will come end of tomorrow night, and you've got to get there first, so hopefully I can get there.
Job on to get there. Wish you all the best. Henry, good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
It really is going to go down to the wire, isn't it? Just as it did in Group C this afternoon. Henry Coates taking on Scott Taylor, former series champion, of course, bidding to be the first player since Luke Littler to get his name on the prestigious trophy twice. Let's head on over then to the commentary box with Matthew Edgar and Henry Deacon.
Sam, thank you very much. And so here we go, the final night of qualification for Champions Night 14 here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Scott Taylor is the only previous champion in the field, picking up the trophy in Series 6, whilst Henry Coates has an opportunity in the next 24 hours or so to do something only Andreas Harrison has done in the past, and that is to complete the set of honours to the Super Series Triple Crown, if you will, by picking up a Specials Week, a weekly title, and then a Champions Week crown.
Game on.
And it would be some full circle moment for Triple H, because it would mean that he would have won the Rising Stars, effectively the youth competition
85.
here, and then go on to win the main Champions Week comp. But write Scott Taylor off at your peril.
41.
Because last night averaged under 90 for the evening. And the truth be told, we don't know, he don't know what he's going to do from one moment to the next, Matthew Edgar.
Yeah, he talks quite
42.
fondly, doesn't he, about at times lacking a little bit of dedication to the sport that would be required to take his game to the next level. But he has ability.
58.
He has a very high ceiling to the level of his performance, which is why he's picked up that series title you've mentioned already.
85.
He's got his hands full here, hasn't he? I have seen no reason why Henry Coates can't go on and be another youngster putting their fingerprints on that trophy. He has
100.
been exceptional this week. And at times, certainly when someone lays down the challenge against him, that's when he plays his best, and that's the real good quality. It's all right going up there and
135.
producing good stuff on a Tuesday morning in Group A, but what's he like on Champions Week when you're up against people who are hitting you back hard?
40.
He just gets better.
Henry, you require 154.
That's the key attribute that you need. And that's the key thing that's going to pick him up those titles.
Well, 6 and 154 to get things started. It's going to need that full quota. Now,
41.
I saw Henry Coates in the car park between sessions. And we were having a good old chin wag about all things. And he just said, you know what, I feel really
84.
calm, really assured, really confident about this
113.
evening. He feels in a good place. He's just taking it easy, chilled out all day, and ready to attack tonight.
If
57.
you're banging in mid-90 averages for fun like Henry Coates is, and you're not chilled, there's something wrong. He has a very good level of
66.
ability and a very good level of self-belief.
Henry
Those two
require
ingredients are
56.
going to carry him far. And the checkouts so far have been superb. These low little combinations, he's been polishing them up, but
21.
not here. Wayward. Quite
Scott, you
wild for
require
the ability there
112.
of Henry Coates.
So opportunity here for Taylor to steal the opening leg. He's been out of this
opening salvo
56.
for pretty much the word go.
Henry require
He's
35.
not going to nick anything. And so Coates, who may have been fired a little bit of a warning shot there from his opponent, is unable to muster
3.
double 16. And
Scott, you
this
require 56.
would be nothing short of a robbery if Taylor was to get this. 2 darts at tops. Coates smiles in the background because he
James Shaw on the
expected
first
the leg
leg.
to be pinched
Scott
from under
Taylor.
his nose, and it duly is.
Second leg, Scott to throw first. Game on.
Well, we've spoke already this evening about what we expect, and we're looking at everything from the positive side and the abilities and the qualities that every player
85.
brings. But we've also got to remember there's a lot on the line tonight, and it's very, very tight in regards to those qualification positions. Are we
60.
maybe looking at this from the wrong side? Because that was a 24 dart breaker throw, that for Scott Taylor. If you had just said to me at the start of the night, there's going to be a 24 breaker
95.
throw, certainly against Henry Coates, I'd call you crazy. And here we are, 1 leg in, and we've already got it. It's
59.
so tight in this group that I think we're going to get some nervy legs and moments at times. I
82.
think there's a good indicator of that at the moment, because that wild dart of tops there for Henry Coates and just straying off the 20 line. Both players doing it.
81.
Just need a bit of a settler.
Well, the field before they've even thrown a dart tonight has been whittled down from 12 to
100.
8. Only 8 players could possibly pick up this title now. The 3 they're already through, and the 5 in this group, and that 8 will become 6. It wasn't the Spice
64.
Girls' best track, but that is what it'd be whittled
Scott, you
down to
require
later on tonight.
139.
Henry Coates is starting to pop the shoulder. Needs to find that rhythm and that fluency.
59.
These short format games, you don't have long to settle. Needs to start throwing and propelling that dart.
As for Scott Taylor, if you told me he's going to play this poorly and he'd be
60.
2-0 up, he'd say
Scott,
you're
you
raving,
require
barking
80.
mad. But he's got 6 darts from this 80, despite averaging 70, to move himself
70.
2-0 to the good, but he'll need that Series 6 winning double 5 when he comes back.
I don't think he'd say that, Henry, to be honest with you. I disagree. I think he'd say, thank you very much, my love.
137. Scott, you require 10.
Okay. Double 5. Well, maybe
No
it's a case
score.
of role reversal where Scott Taylor dominated
Henry
this
require
leg just like
40.
Henry Coates did the previous, and the
James
other
on
player
second
pinches
leg.
it.
Henry
It's the right
Coates.
scoreline, but the wrong way round, if you get what I mean.
All things
Third
fair
leg,
and
Henry to
equal.
throw first. Game on.
That's what you'd imagine it would be. You just wouldn't imagine it would be done in this style.
Well, prior to that dart, Henry Coates' average was 67.67.
$85.
The ironic look on the face of Henry Coates. Knows he's pinched one, having had one pinched from him the leg before.
94.
More pinches than punches so far being thrown out there.
See on that last start again, though, it's just a bit snatchy for Henry Coates. He's not getting the full
95.
extension of his throw. And by trying to force that through, he's just engaging that shoulder. He needs to let the arm do its job. You can see how he's throwing the body into it.
180.
But he won't feel that it's right, and it doesn't matter what you're hitting, it's how you feel. You'll be feeling like
121.
you're searching for something.
Henry
The dart's got to
require
land somewhere at the end of
131.
the day.
Is it going to land in the perfect target to the 131? Not this time.
91.
Is that purely down to tension, perhaps, Matt?
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all. It's just not getting that fluency, just not letting the muscles elongate and not getting to the end of the
140.
action. He will warm into it,
Henry
absolutely.
require
It'll just
40.
take a couple of legs. He's just fortunate here that Scott Taylor's not been in the mood to
James
punish.
Shaw on the third leg. Henry Coates. Fourth leg, Scott to
Well, that's a
throw
little bit
first.
more like
Game
it.
on.
13 darter for Henry Coates to get his nose in front for the first time in this contest. Trail 1-0, now leads 2-1.
99.
Well, I know that your extensive research, Matt, told us that Henry Coates had an average of just under 96 for the
94.
evening yesterday. And he won his opening couple, averaging 99 and 103 respectively. It was the end of the session where things went wrong. Scott Taylor actually averaged a ton in this meeting at the end of yesterday's play. 100.48, 4 from 6 on the doubles. Coates' solitary leg, despite averaging 96, was a 120 checkout.
It's those sort of numbers
57.
and stats, which is why when you look on things like social media at the moment, or you even ask around various places, and you say, who's going to take the title
100.
of Series 14 champion here this week? You're starting to see the name Henry Coates come into that conversation quite frequently.
Yeah, first time the name Henry of the Super Series has been
60.
met with positivity. I've seen social media, Matt.
I wouldn't just single out social media.
78. Scott, you require 161.
161 for Taylor to get ourselves back on terms. Well, that was wildly high. 129 is not a finished player's life,
Henry
because
require
even if you hit the first
129.
treble, you may only be guaranteed a dart, providing you hit the treble with dart 2.
89.
Scott Taylor here has got a good
Scott, you require
situation because
56.
using that bullseye with the last dart. I really like that play.
Game shot on the
Worked
fourth
well,
leg.
got him 2
Scott
darts at a
Taylor.
double. And he cashes it in for a level game.
Fifth leg,
One of those
Henry
players
to
that
throw first.
really do
Game on.
understand the board management of gaining the percentages, and that comes from the years that he's had on the Pro Tour. Whether it's been as a tour card holder or a
100.
top-up from the Challenge Tour, that tour teaches you to find those little percentages, because there's not much in regards to the ability difference between the players. Bit of board management, bit of counting
100.
can give you the edge, and it certainly did there.
When you consider his ability, where he can get to, what he can get to in terms of levels of performance,
57.
is he perhaps the biggest underperformer of his generation?
It can certainly be considered as one of them, but there's so many of them. There are so many players out there that certainly have the ability
85.
and demonstrate the ability, but lack the dedication, because the dedication required is huge. And as the sport develops, the dedication isn't just let's stand and throw darts. It comes down to the
93.
diet. It comes down to the training. It comes down to the preparation. And I don't just mean darts. I also mean things like body maintenance, being
60.
able to practice for long periods of time, play darts for periods of time, stamina, the gym work. There's so much that goes into it now. Physiotherapies. Repetitive strain injuries on the
140.
rise.
Well, Coates here looking at the Nelson to move himself one away. The contest is getting better as
100.
time moves
Henry
along.
require 111.
What was going to, though, wasn't it? We wasn't given a fair reflection of the quality of the players in the first couple of legs. But we may do here. Tops.
91.
Not found. And a mini
Scott, you require
opportunity.
156.
Well, what a shot this would be if Taylor could find the 156. How timely it would be. However, that can't be done. And so
58.
Coates comes back for 10s to lead 3-2. Remember,
Henry
the victor of
requires
this contest
20.
will move on to 6 points in this group. And
Game
Henry
shot on the
Coates
fifth
is a
leg.
leg away
Henry
from doing
Coates.
exactly that by finding double
Sixth
five.
leg, Scott to throw first.
Puff of the
Game
cheeks
on.
for Henry Coates after finding the double five. That there is pure relief. He doesn't feel like he's playing his
42.
best, and he certainly isn't when you look at the numbers. Little stretch at the back of the stage, again signalling that maybe things just a little bit tight, which does go in line with what I've spotted in this game with that technical issue with the shoulder just
43.
popping into the throat. But he's just got to get through it, get the points on the board, puff the cheeks out, say you're lucky, whatever it is, but just find the win. Because come tomorrow night, no one cares how you did it.
96.
They don't write averages on trophies.
139.
They certainly don't get put in the equation when you pay the tax on your winnings.
100.
Are you allowed to swear on live TV?
Maxi for Coatsy.
180.
On the finish after 9, and this game could be wrapped up very soon unless Scott Taylor's got something big in response.
134.
Always had the makings of a
require
game that could be decided by
139.
6 or 9 good darts. And this could be the 6.
Just wide of the treble 14.
91.
Will be back
Scott,
for
you require
48 if Taylor
129.
cannot take the 129. He's looking at double, unable to muster. Looking at 36,
117.
36.
Henry, you require 48.
This is a 6-pointer because he's at the double 16. This dart at double 8 is going to be a little bit awkward. Has to loft it over the top.
Game shot.
Does so
And the match,
brilliantly
Henry
and
comes.
gets his knight off to the perfect start. Well, it was hard work at times for Henry Coates, but he finds himself off the mark. He gets the better of the Series 6 champion Scott Taylor by 4 legs to 2, who now has work to do if he's going to make it through to another Champions Night. Henry Coates up and running. We're going to see Derek Coulson. A win here would virtually send him through. He takes on Neil Duff, still searching for his first Champions Week win.
underway then in the final session before Champions Night here at the Modus Super Series. We opened up with a 4-2 win for Henry Coates over Scott Taylor. Now, Neil Duff, it's already must-win territory for the Duffman. A 7-time weekly winner here, taking on 6-time weekly champion Derek Coulson, who is almost there. Flawless display last night, 4 wins out of 4. And another win here would almost certainly put him through to Champions Night. Not mathematically, but 99 times out of 100, 10 points is more than ample. Neil Duff started slow last night, and it went from bad to worse. Did get better as the night went on. It was a good match, this one, towards the latter stages of the session. And this time, the Duffman has the darts as well. Neil Duff knocked out Derek Coulson in Series 13 Champions Night. Can Coulson repay the favour here?
60.
Yeah, Derek Coulson with a win would move himself onto 10 points. Now, the only way he would be knocked out is if Henry Coates, Scott Taylor and Scott Robertson also finish on that number, which is mathematically possible.
100.
But that would also mean that Neil Duff would lose all 8 games at this Champions Week, which you still think is a very unlikely proposition.
121.
It also wouldn't surprise you if Neil Duff would have seen red following what happened yesterday and really come out and show us what he's made of. Duff finding the tough stuff when his back's against
45.
the wall.
Always seems to find a way, doesn't he? And of course, Duff is back here on Monday morning
60.
for Double Trouble 5. An extended stay here in Portsmouth. He wants to be here tomorrow night for Champions Night. This is all about crowning his legacy. He is desperate to land a series
60.
title.
He feels like it's destiny that at some point, one point, when it's going to be, that he will lift the big one here. He's picked up many a weekly title. He's picked up a specials week. He won the first edition of the Double Trouble, the first ever specials week we had here at the Super Series. There's probably an argument these two are the best two that we've had here
100.
in terms of attainable success that has never won Champions Week. Duff with 6 and 120 to land the first blow. Is going to need that full quota.
80.
Pretty pedestrian start by Coulson standards. No finish after 12.
$100.
Nice final of the
require
last, but it could
40.
be academic for the opening leg at least as Duff eyes tops.
Game show on the
And
first
it goes.
leg. Neil Duff.
And the Duff man is on
Second
his
leg,
way.
Derek to throw first. Game on.
Well, incredibly, last night, not just did he lose his games, but such was the heaviness of the defeats. He only accrued 5 legs for the evening.
140.
Average around 88.07 for the evening. And I suppose that solidifies the difference between what is good in a
140.
regulation week, but what can be found wanting when you get to a Champions Week. Because if we were talking about those numbers in a Group A in week 6, say, for example, we'll be saying he's played some decent stuff. But
55.
when you put yourself amongst this clientele, the standards get upped just that bit more.
180.
his standard. He's putting it on Coulson. Taking the darts from Derek.
99.
6 for the break and 6 for a 2-0 lead. And the other thing as well that Neil Duff has to do is he has to wrestle away a legs difference of -11. Potential 10 darter here to move himself to the good and to move him halfway there potentially.
100. Neil, you require 36.
Oh, he's miscounted. You can see the funny side. You don't see that every day. That's incredible.
Game show on the
Go
second.
your own way, Neil.
Neil Duff.
Don't worry about it. You're 2-0 up.
Exhibition finishing from the Duff man. Comic relief amidst the tension.
Third leg, Neil to throw first.
But importantly,
Game
no matter
on.
how he's got there, he's got the break. 2-0 to the good. And as I mentioned before, all sorts of farcical scenes arrived at the live lounge. He has to wrestle away a -11 legs difference. Every other player in this group prior to this
100.
game had a positive legs difference. Scott Taylor, Scott Robertson, +2. Henry Coates, +1.
$96.
Neil Duff is averaging in excess of 106.5.
We kind of suggested it this morning, didn't we, when we were making our way to the venue, that
140.
it wouldn't surprise you in the slightest off the back of what happened last night that Neil Duff comes out and he sets his stall out right from the get-go. And that is exactly what he's doing here.
Coulson just scrambling around trying to find a business treble.
58.
Bit of indecision there as well. Was it 19s? Was it 18s? Did he want to persist with 20s? It's just not looking comfortable in the early stages for Derek. It should be comfortable.
180.
Well, this is one-way traffic.
Could be potentially back-to-back 11 darters here for Neil Duff.
94.
And even the
Neil
great
Uruguay,
Derek Coulson
81.
can't do much about the barrage that's being hit against him. 2 12s.
57.
We'll be back for more.
Not every day you see a Neil Duff miscount. Not every day you see Derek Coulson lagging behind in the mid-200s, whilst his opponent has already missed start to the
60.
finish.
Turns out it might be Freaky
24.
Friday.
Game show on the
13
third
title
leg.
for Duff leads
Neil
3-0. Average of 109.98. In
Fourth
terms
leg,
of
Derek
highest
to throw
recorded
first.
average that we
Game
have
on.
for the Duff man, 107.36. Perhaps unsurprisingly hitting this building.
91.
Well, there is an irony because if Neil Duff wins this game, it makes
55.
Derek Coulson's task of qualifying through easier because everyone would be on 2 points. It means that Derek would just need a win somewhere along the line.
Just like we saw in Group A.
134.
Getting off to a good start, putting yourself in good stead, can afford an error or two along the way. We saw it with Ashley Coleman,
100.
who, in his own way, had a bit of a nightmare Wednesday. And Coulson had a bigger one. But he is starting to fight back.
100.
If you know one thing about Neil Duff, the bigger they come, the more he wants them to fall.
60.
However, DC's got 6 and 176. He hasn't had a double in this game, Derek Coulson. How many times do you say that after 3 legs played? Seldom.
60.
Nada. Never.
Perfect first start for Duff.
180.
Finds all 3.
Derek Uruguay 116.
And this may well have to go. But it's not going to. Neil Duff was
42.
desperate coming into this
Neil
building
Uruguay,
tonight, but a
106.
desperate Neil Duff is what makes him so dangerous. Tops.
Game
And a
shot, and
whitewash
match,
win
Neil Duff.
over the group leader, Derek Coulson. Neil Duff setting his stall out very early. He has given himself a real tall order. But what a start. He has made 107.36 the average. 3 maximums, a 106 out. Absolutely incredible by the Duff man. It's Scott Taylor and Scott Robertson, the 9-dart hero, coming up after the break. Incredible scenes before the break. Neil Duff has tied his personal best high average, 107.36. He did not give Derek Coulson a dart at double. 4-0 for the Duff man, who did not pick up a win here in yesterday's session. Now we see the return of Scott Taylor, and there's pressure on him due to that early defeat against Henry Coates. He faces the 9-dart hero of last night, Scott Robertson. Arguably the pick of the players. Look at that running average, almost 97. He could have run through the card last night. He was unlucky in his opening couple of matches. Players to defeat him, Coulson and Coates, having to average over 105.5 for Coulson, almost 104 for Coates. Taylor, is he vulnerable, Matthew Edgar?
First leg, Scott Taylor to throw first. Game
Wasn't
on.
good in that game against Henry Coates, but we've seen this so many times, haven't we? Scott Taylor has a dodgy game. We start writing him off. He comes out and pops in 100-plus average.
125.
Already looking significantly better, even in the first 3 darts. He was a little bit wayward in the opening game. Nothing was wayward about this man yesterday. Mightily impressive.
60.
Just picked up his series title, his weekly title. The back end of the series. And when you look at
58.
the sort of CVs of the players, and you look at the players taking part here in Champions Week, you'd look at it and you'd pick him out as he could be vulnerable. He doesn't subscribe to that logic. He's come here very full of confidence, very aggressive in regards to the delivery of the darts, and I think he's a lively contender here with Scott Taylor already being on the stage. That vulnerability could really show if he doesn't win this game. The pressure is on Taylor.
Could it be the inconsistencies of
140.
Taylor that proves to be his downfall? Robertson, it was a nervy win last week on that finals night, the finals night before
83.
here in Champions Week, but there has been no such nerves whatsoever since he arrived back in this building yesterday evening.
137. Scott, you require 135.
It's crazy, isn't it? Here we've got a player who's hit a 9-darter on Champions Week, contending and in very good contention in regards to possibly qualifying for Saturday night.
50.
He's probably not even been paid yet for winning his weekly
Scott, you
title.
require 24.
He's got a big payday coming, hasn't he?
Hasn't he just?
Game show on the
He's
first leg.
taken the opening
Scott
leg in
Roberts.
13 against the darts. Warning
Second leg,
signs for
Scott
Taylor,
Robertson
whose
to
matches
throw
are coming
first.
quickly here
Game on.
this evening. He will be the first of the 5 players to finish.
Doesn't look like he wants a scrap at the minute, does he, Scott Taylor? Just looking around the room, getting a little bit distracted from the task. Needs to focus
60.
in and focus in quickly. Shaking his head
45.
mid-throw. He is not happy. Scott Taylor is not happy right now. He knows he's not quite at his best. A little roll of the shoulder as he came back, and it was interesting because in that throw it did feel a little bit
100.
jerky.
$140.
Some venom in that throw, isn't there, for Scott Taylor? He's trying to force the issue, and I suppose he's trying something. Not just trying the same things,
86.
pulling off the same results. He's looking to try and force something that's going to improve this performance.
96.
Yeah, all aggression in that Taylor throw, a 6-time weekly champion. Add on top of that his series title. He has got the one that the likes
83.
of Neil Duff, Derek Coulson crave the most.
100.
He was shaking his head at the 100, and I mention all the time about how it's not what you do and what you score, it's how you feel, and he's clearly feeling something's a little bit off right now. You don't have long, short format games. He's already a leg down,
100.
and that leg was a breaker
Scott, you
throw.
require 120.
This could end up on a target that he loves. The target that he loves is tops.
Game show on the
And he
second leg.
continues to
Scott
have that
Taylor.
love affair with that target. Bails him out in the end there. Scott Taylor gets the breaker throw straight back.
Third leg, Scott Taylor to throw first.
And it must be frustrating, though,
Game on.
for a player like Scott Taylor, who has the ability to go on and win a series title, and did so in style. At no point that week did you think Scott Taylor wasn't going to pick up that series title.
140.
But then you have these games where he just battles himself.
$60.
Started the night in second place. A defeat would put him back down
97.
into fourth, outside of those top 3 qualification spots.
How much of a play is Neil Duff going to make tonight as well? What a performance that was in the last game. And this afternoon, we said it would be the most Neil Duff thing ever
100.
if he was to lose all 4 games on the opening day and qualify. I have seen it before on a Champions Week. It was in the old format, in the old venue. It was David Pallett. Lost all 4 games in a very tidy group. Scott Williams, Stephen Burton, the Edgar all in that group as well.
No interest in a showstopper.
100.
That is because Robertson is now off the pace. He's starting to find his stride again.
138. Scott, you require
Genuine
64.
pressure applied. The effort at top's greeted with a snarl, and it's gone too
Scott, you
high.
require
And
40.
off the back of that fantastic 138, Robertson now
Game shot on
can
the third
land
leg.
another
Scott
break
Robertson.
of throw in 13 darts.
Fourth leg,
Just
Scott
explaining
Robertson
how Scott
to
Taylor's
throw
got a big
first.
love affair with tops. I'm quite surprised to see him go the 12s there. Yes, if you get the single, you can stay there for tops, but
Game
there's a
on.
much easier way of getting to tops. That's using the treble 8. We are seeing players invent new routes. Some of them we like. Some of them suit certain players. I'm not sure that one suits Scott as much.
140.
Look at those numbers. Scott Robertson
99.
in excess of 107. Neil Duff before the break, 107.36. He's got to wait a couple of matches.
93.
It's Coulson against Coates coming up after this one before Robertson returns to take on the Duff man.
100. $82.
Well, crucial covering 19s there.
58.
Taylor is now flailing around, desperately seeking big scores, big visits to do to Robertson what he did to him in the previous
100.
leg. Apply that genuine pressure.
It's that dart in the 5, isn't it? That's really
Scott, you
irritating
require
Scott
86.
Taylor right now, not keeping the dart straight. Another one of those. Even better. Double 7. Double 7 is found.
Scott Robertson.
Scott Robertson.
Fifth leg, Scott Taylor to
Averaging
throw first.
103.
Game on.
We look at the performance yesterday. Over 96 the average for the day. It was, can he keep it going? Was that a performance outside of his general abilities?
180.
Well, he's getting better. You'd be a very brave man right now if you're watching Scott Robertson to suggest he won't make Saturday nights.
100.
But there is a long, long way to go yet.
There is.
180.
Well, hang on a minute. Scott Robertson hit a perfect leg last night against Neil Duff. Could he be
Scott,
on
you
the
require
receiving
141.
end of one here? Treble 19, it goes awry.
90.
He's angry. He must have thought that was going to go. He must have fancied it. Looking to retaliate against the man who hit one just
105.
yesterday.
Scott, you require 51.
We know he's going to go here. 11 for tops for an 11 dart leg
Game
for
shot on the
Scotty
fifth leg.
Taylor.
Scott
So
Taylor.
much better. That'll be encouraging.
Sixth leg,
The
Scott
only
Robertson to throw
Downside, if
first.
there is one,
Game on.
was it was done on his own throw. You feel he's going to need something strong like that on the Scott Robertson throw, because look at those winning legs. 13, 13, 15, 5 visits and it's done.
60.
That tends to be the vibe of Scotty R.
80.
A quality match. A quality group. These are the sort of numbers these players
100.
have been forced to do, because otherwise they're cut adrift. That's what happened to Neil Duff last night. And
42.
yeah, he comes out swinging, putting in a 107 and a 4-0 win.
We won't be the first or the last to talk about the inconsistencies of Scott Taylor. And I think it's just highlighted really in the last couple of legs.
134.
He went 180, 180 in the first 6 starts last time. He's now gone 80, 42.
60.
80, 42, 60. And then, looks like he's doing a few keepy uppies.
Well, Andrew Culling putting in a staunch defence.
97.
Time running out for Taylor, not just
60.
in the match, but he will probably
So you
need to win
require
both his
110.
remaining matches, and he still has Coulson and Duff to face. That could be a straight knockout.
74.
This match was almost over. It could be in Scott Robertson's next visit.
59. Scott, you require 36.
So to leapfrog his opponent back into the qualification placings, Robertson electing to split. Sensible.
20.
A luxury of time he's earned, but not just through his own quality. He's had 6 visits to the board already, 18 darts thrown.
44.
But with 18 darts from Scott Taylor, he's still left a monster finish.
Scott, you require 16.
Scoring power not there for the scoring man.
Inconsistencies
Ten shot.
proving
And a match.
costly.
Scott Robertson.
And Robertson gets the 4-2 win to accelerate himself back into a qualifying position for Champions Night. Wins for Coates, wins for Duff, and now a win for Robertson. Scott Taylor has to land both his remaining 2 matches to give himself a chance of qualification himself. Coulson only needs 1 more win. He takes on Henry Coates after this break. Is this the moment then for Derek Coulson? Suffering a bit of a setback in his opening match of the evening. Didn't even get a dart at a double. Such was the form and the mood of Neil Duff. A win here sends Coulson through to Champions Night. A defeat, a win for Henry Coates here, would send Derek down into third. There is still so many possibilities. And we've only completed 3 out of the 10 games for you here this evening. Coulson has the darts here.
First
These
leg,
two
Derek
renew their rivalry off the back
Game on.
of their Group A exploits. 4-2 on Monday in favour of Coulson, 4-1 on Tuesday. Coates got the win on Wednesday by the barest of margins, sealing it with a 160.
140.
And Derek got the 4-2 win here last night. I'm guessing you bite your arm off for the same, Mr. Deacon.
100.
Indeed, he would. It was a workmanlike performance from Henry Coates in that opener against Scott Taylor. It was a very, very scrappy opening to the game, but once he got his nose in front for a second time, there was no relenting
100.
from Triple H. As for Derek Coulson, didn't get a dot and a double in a 4-0 defeat to Neil Duff, where the former Lakeside champ averaged in excess of 107 to depose of DC.
A win for Derek, and he avoids any dramas. A defeat, and he is in the drama.
100.
The other thing it should be noted as well, because of the margin of defeat to Neil Duff, his legs differs all of a sudden, has been left rather vulnerable at +2. Loses this, best case scenario, it's going to be +1.
125. Derek, you require 161.
Well, this to get leg 1 on the board. Able to find the 161. Coates will have a poke at the 136 to try and get an early break. Needs one at some point
Henry
to
require 136.
win this contest. There'd be some way to find it. Still on. 888. Would have been some start for Henry Coates.
Derek, you require 96.
Again, the opponents are putting it on Derek here this evening. Which way is he going to go from here? Attempted double-double.
56.
But this could be advantage Coates.
Henry, you require 16. Game show on the first leg.
Breaks in
Henry
14.
Coates.
Good dart that. The fact that
Second
dart
leg, Henry
1 was
to
so
Rosa.
close to the
Game
wire
on.
meant that the target area for Triple H was halved. And now really
60.
looking to impose himself, but comes up trebleless, just opens up the door ajar for Derek Coulson.
This was a match that Henry would feel as though he should have won last night.
100.
He was 2 from 19 on the outer ring. Well, it's just not good enough in this situation. In a Champions Week, in a group such as this.
And I'm sure there's 1 or 2 people that will be thinking that this match could well be the final match tomorrow night.
180.
piling in a 180. It wouldn't surprise you if at 11:04 tomorrow evening, these two will be in the midst of a game worth 25k.
43.
One thing we do see at Champions Week is real personal rivalries begin to blossom.
60.
One that stands out is the one between Tom Sykes and Scott Taylor in Series 6, where they just threw everything at one another all week long. Exactly what these two have done the last 5 days, and Henry Coates continues to fire the heavy artillery at Derek Coulson, but can he respond for 161 check? Treble 17 for the Bull. Bull it is for the 161. Coates thinks it's going to go, and he'd be right in his thinking. Coulson hits back, and he hits back for 161.
Third leg, Derek to throw first.
Such as he did against Archie Self earlier in the week in Group A, Coulson pulls a 161 out of the fire against a young gun. asserting his authority.
95.
Incredibly, that dart at the ball for the 161 was the first dart he's had at a double all night.
139.
You've got to play it down, you've got to keep him down. Showing his class. He is all class.
58.
After getting that immediate break back, he's got to consolidate and not gift Coates a chance to steal the initiative
81.
again.
Two players nearly 40 years apart in terms of age, but two players who are tipped to be two of the rising stars of this sport.
98.
Two players that are doing great things at this level and are expected to be at the next year. Coates is really beginning to find his range. Really beginning to find his range. Second 180 of the match, his fifth two-treble score of the contest, average in excess of 113.
140. Henry, you require
Derek is there or
101.
thereabouts. However, Coates is there better and sooner. Double 18. What a response. Top bins.
Henry Coates.
Coates breaks again.
Fourth leg, Henry to throw first. Game on.
Setbacks make for get-backs. And for Coates, that is a break back.
55.
3 legs, 3 breaks, 2-1 he leads. Every single leg in this game being won in 14 or fewer. Back-to-back 12s, actually.
46.
What a slip. Just puts Derek's average back under a ton.
137.
Henry Coates, his is now north of 110.
$134.
I'll have a look at that.
81.
Two players who have got extraordinarily high ceilings. And two players that love the heat of battle, love it when they're being posed with a
60.
challenge like this. So far tonight, Derek Coulson's been hit with 107 average from Neil Duff and right now being hit with 108 average from Henry Coates. Currently, he's in the Scott Robertson position.
100.
He absolutely is, and he has to play Scott Taylor next, and we know how inconsistently he can play. He can probably turn up and average 111
85.
against Coulson
Henry
in that next
require
match. It wouldn't be a
128.
surprise. That's what you've got to do.
Is there a sense that because Derek's
60.
so well respected, people naturally raise their game when they play him? That adage of players play better when they play better players.
It's an absolute given.
136.
Once
Henry
again,
requires
he's
68.
there or thereabout. Derek's had one dart at a double all night, and he's taken it. But Duff didn't give him a shot. And Coates
Game's
isn't
on
going
the
to give him
fourth
one
leg.
here either.
Henry Coates.
3-1
Fifth leg, Derek to throw
to the
first.
20-year-old.
Game on.
Well, he wasn't fully convinced the treble 12 was in, but there was no doubt that a double 16 nestled its way into the target.
140.
Derek Coulson has not done a lot wrong tonight. However, is finding himself on the receiving end of players playing their A-plus game.
99.
Happened in the opener against Neil Duff. Is happening here against Henry Coates. He's had one dart at a double all night off the back of a 161 combo.
100.
But when you go through the card and have a 100%
58.
record on the opening day or night of a group, you come in the next day with a target on your back.
And let's get this right. Henry Coates wins it and wins it by margin. He is in pole position in this group because he'd leapfrogged Derek Coulson on 8 points with a better legs difference.
57.
And actually, if you look at the way the fixtures pan out, this could be over very quickly. Coates wins this one. Robertson wins the next against Neil Duff. 3 players on 8 points. Taylor on 4. Duff would be left on 2. And then Coulson beats Taylor in game 6. It's all over bar the shouting.
Sounds simple. You just have a feeling it won't be. Nothing has been simple here this week.
Only the second dart at double he's had all night.
40.
And it might be the last one he gets in this contest.
105.
Oh, he loves this route, and that is exactly why. It's incredible by Henry Coates, who now goes top on legs 1, and Derek Coulson, flying high after last night, now finds himself in 3rd. 104 the average for Coates. It was a simply incredible match. 161 from Coulson means nothing in the end. It's Robertson against Duff after this. What a night.
Welcome back to the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, where Champions Week Group B has got all sorts of tension and drama written all over it. And maybe Derek Coulson is getting dragged into a race just to even get to Champions Night tomorrow. Before the break, he lost out 4-1 to Henry Coates. Second time tonight that DC has been hit with an average in excess of a ton. 104.01 for Henry Coates. 2 ton plus checkouts, including a 105 to win it. Coulson won just one leg. That was courtesy of a 161 checkout. The only leg that he's won so far tonight. And that was because in his opener, Neil Duff averaged 107.36 with 4 from 6 on the doubles. Took out a 106 finish en route to a 4-0 dusting of Derek Coulson. He takes on Scott Robertson, who himself has got out the gate impressively this evening. Average of 99.21. 4 from 7 on the doubles as he got the better of the Series 6 champion Scott Taylor 4-2. He starts off perfectly, and you may remember the last leg that these two played, Matthew Edgar. Scott Robertson
60.
hit a 9-dart leg.
I remember it well. The first ever 9-darter that Scott Robertson's hit in a competitive game, and that's inviting, Henry. He would have fancied that. He would have been thinking history could repeat itself again.
I'm going to go out on a whim here, Matt, but I don't think we would have ever seen the like of that before, where in 2 separate matches,
45.
someone would have won the last leg of one meeting with a player with a 9-dart, and then won the first leg of the next meeting with a 9-darter.
I can't disagree.
However, that was back at the cigarette
100.
packet kind of statistics from Henry Deacon tonight.
$44.
Robertson wins this.
Scott, you require
Duff's gone,
124.
and Taylor could be gone in the next.
Well, Neil does not started this very strongly, but Robertson is carrying on where he left off. What a
Game's
finish.
on the
What is
first
going
leg.
on tonight?
Scott Robertson.
Ton plus averages galore. Big finishes
Second
all
leg,
over the
Neil
place.
to
That's a
throw
12-dart
first.
leg
Game
holder
on.
throw. This must be one of the greatest starts we have ever seen to a Group B campaign.
It's everything you ever want, Matthew Edgar.
100.
It's been superb so far. Long may it continue. What a night we are having. And that's not even discussing things like the table. I mean, we came into tonight and Neil Duff at the bottom of the table after losing all his
100.
games. Derek Coulson at the top after winning all his games. We kind of looked at him when, is this 3 players playing for 2 positions this evening? And then Coulson loses 2. Neil Duff wins his
95.
first. And all of a sudden, everyone's active again.
And such is the nature of this Group B. If Scott Robertson wins this match, 2 players with a combined 13 weekly titles would be the 2 that find themselves on the Super Series scrap
131.
heap.
$83.
Robertson would love a ton, would crave a 140. So he's there, moves across, has to make sure he stays straight.
100.
At least leaves himself on the big fish, but how desperately will he have to take it out when he comes back?
137.
The answer is it could be
Scott, you
Muscat
require
because Dust left
170.
himself on a 2-darter.
$60. Neil, you require 86.
Just shaves it. Not too much damage done.
There's only 4 left. It means he has to find a target with Dart 2. He's
46.
unable to locate the treble 14, which would have left double
Scott, you require
60.
110.
But still, Robertson, treble a score means he's still in 3-figure range if he wants to get the break. Triple 18 for the double. Oh, he went bull for tops.
78.
And he's just about
you
left
require
himself on a
40.
double. If Duff cannot convert on the target that won him a world title, double 10.
Game show on
One
the second
apiece.
leg. Neil Duff. Third leg, Scott to throw first. Game on.
going to be one of those nights for Neil Duff where he's probably going to have to win legs in different ways. It's not all going to go as well as it did in game number 1.
131.
You can't keep that pace up throughout the entirety of the evening, averaging 107. Sometimes he's going to have to battle and grind it
85.
out. Needs a good leg here, though, somewhere in this match. Against the throw against Scott Robertson. You feel like Scott Robertson isn't going to relinquish the throw too lightly.
140.
13 darters, a 15 darter in the opener, a 12 darter in the opening of this match. On the evidence of play so far, you suggest that Neil Duff's going to have to find a leg in 4 visits against the throw.
But such is the standard of championship. Look, Matthew, we've been here for 4 years. And how many times have we said when it comes to a Champions Week, expect the standard to be reminiscent of that of a Pro Tour? That is exactly what we're getting to see. To put it into context, the lowest average by about 5 points so far recorded
60.
this evening is the 81.5 recorded by Scott Taylor when he lost to Henry Coates. Double 18. Now, doesn't have to go for the double 9, may split it.
74.
Sensible play comes back for double 8.
$86.
Great use of the board there to try and guarantee
16.
himself a finish. The treble means it's a lot more gettable, but he's got to rely on that miss here from Scott Robinson, which hasn't been a very profitable tactic so far and continues to be the case.
Robertson.
And once again,
Full
Scott
flag,
Robinson with the darts, 5 visits or less, he is out. Which means, I'm going to repeat the statement again. Neil Duff is going to have to find a breaker throw in 4 visits or less.
100.
Well, it goes back to the Chris Mason mentality on how you win big games at the top level. Holding 15, breaking 12. And that is seemingly the standard you kind of have
86.
to ascertain if you're going to have success tonight. Scott Robertson does make it through. Do not expect a quiet evening at the live lounge. He may not have the biggest of support bases, but my word will they be vocal because his partner Vicky will be here, and my word will she be
99.
creating the noise on his behalf. Now, I was down at Ilfracombe for the Six Nations tournament about a month or so ago, and she was the noise that powered
100.
that Scottish team home. Admittedly, not the biggest crowd I've ever seen, but she was the noise that saw them home.
123.
Well, this is the moment potentially that Neil Duff starts to get a bit frustrated. That's because the dart below blocks it and he didn't like another way around. But what an exceptional couple of finds that was there from Neil Duff. Had to work around the blocker dart. Didn't want to move elsewhere. Superb. Really, really
41.
good and gives him a good opportunity
You require
now.
101.
Just as it was all starting to threaten to break down.
91.
I was wondering
Scott,
where
you
that came
require
from.
152.
That sort of flyer dart. I do always feel it's one of the perils of the system. I keep talking about that tri-flight system.
100. Neil, you require 10.
2 5s for parity. Double 2.
Game show on the 4 flag. Neil Duff.
Level it is, but the problem Neil Duff's got is because of the legs difference.
Fifth
Not
leg,
just does he
Scott
have to win games. You get the sense he probably has to win this 4-2. Just to whittle away that disadvantage. Now, before this game was played, there was 11 legs between Scott Robertson
140.
and Neil Duff in terms of legs difference. Neil needs to make sure he's underneath the 8 mark in that particular scenario because the most amount of legs you can make up in terms of legs
85.
difference in a round worth of fixtures is 8. So say he gets to the last game and he's within a couple of points, but he's 9 legs off in terms of legs difference. Mathematically, he would be out of the equation.
180.
So even if Scott Robertson gets to 3 and doesn't win the game, he may still do himself a bit of a favour against Neil Dove. The problem would be what Scott Taylor does in return.
100.
I'm going to discuss that pace of the throw once again here for Scott Robinson. 6 starts thrown. He's already down to setting up a finish. The likelihood, remembering there's no guarantee in sports,
140.
but the extreme likelihood now is that he goes out in 15 darts or less. Once again, forcing Neil Duff into 12.
Well, if he gets it done in 2, he may have forced Neil
97.
Dove to hit a 9-darter in this
Scott,
leg.
you require 41.
And I keep referencing the point because it emphasises the level of control right now that Scott Robinson has over this game. Yes, it's a tight scoreline. Yes, they're level.
9.
But he is not giving Neil Duff any opportunity at the moment to get that breaker throw. Duff relying on misses from
Scott, you
Robertson.
require 32.
2 from 6, 33%, which tells you should get one of these 3. Should.
16.
But he doesn't. And he's presented
you
Neil
require
Duff with this
82.
opportunity that he has craved to get that elusive breaker throw. 5 scored. Had to find the treble 19 with dart 2
42.
to leave himself double 10, unable to
Scott,
get
you
Robertson
require
back for
16.
double 8 to move in front. He may have got away with one here, the Scot.
Yeah, for Duff not to get a dart there. Visibly frustrated and rightly so. But that's tricky. That has kicked. That flight could get in the way here.
8.
And it does. There was no way in there. Had to
Neil,
go
you
high,
require
which is
40.
always a little bit tricky when you've got that flight choice.
Game show on the 5th
Neil
leg.
Duff
Neil Duff.
steals the leg. But steely performance
leg,
here from
Neil
Duff,
to
who's now a leg
throw
away
first. Game
from
on.
back-to-back victory and now playing himself back into this group.
And look, sometimes, Matt, you know better than anybody else. You just need that little bit of rub of the green. Scott Robertson missed 6 darts, moved 3-2 in front.
140.
Duff took the one opportunity he got. I mean, that dart's unlucky, but Scott Robertson cannot feel unlucky because he had multiple opportunities to win that leg.
Oh, if you ask Neil Duff, he will
125.
probably remember all the moments yesterday where someone hits a big finish against him, someone hits a 9-darter against him, all these other things sort of go against you.
140.
And he will say, well, it's about time someone missed something against me. And I'm cashing it in.
What goes around comes around. And maybe, just maybe, we have got some
140.
tungsten tension ahead of us. Get your cup of coffee, cup of cocoa, whatever you need. Maybe even an ice cold one.
100.
Because we're not done with the drama anytime soon.
A chalk ice.
Oh, yes. Now we are talking about stupendous confectionery.
100. Neil, you
For the
require
match.
121.
121. Should get a match dart. Will get a match dart at the bull. And
shot,
gets the
and a match.
bullseye.
Neil Duff.
And puts himself back in play. Never write off Neil Duff. 0 points at the start of the night, but he is very much in contention now. Back-to-back wins. That one was pure bottle, pure steel, pure determination. Doing the right things at the right time, cashing in when his opponent missed. He is banging play, courtesy of a 4-2 win over Scott Robertson. Welcome back to Champions Week, where Neil Duff is in with a shout. He lost all 4 of his games on Thursday night, but back-to-back wins this evening has put it back in play. And that 1-2-1 saw him get the better of Scott Robertson 4-2, despite the fact that his opponent averaged in excess of a ton. So this is what we've seen so far on the dramatic evening at the Live Lounge. It kicked off with a 4-2 win for Henry Coates against Scott Taylor. He's currently top of the table, having then got the better of Derek Coulson 4-1, averaging 104. Derek's lost both his games, but has been hit by ton-plus averages in both the games that he's played. Scott Robertson still clinging on to third, mainly because of the fact that Scott Taylor, the Series 6 champion, has had a disastrous start, hasn't won a game yet. And so this is how the table looks. Henry Coates on top, Derek Coulson also on 8 points, but have a look at that legs difference, -1. If other players get a spurt on, that could well be vulnerable. Scott Robertson on 6 points, but again, that +2 legs difference, that could be a big advantage for him. Scott Taylor in must-win territory against Derek Coulson, who has another opportunity to make it through, but never, ever write off Neil Duff. He always seemingly finds a way, no matter what happens, to put himself in the picture, and he's done so again here. We'll see him against Scott Taylor in Game 8, but we're going to see Scott Taylor now take on Derek Coulson in another one of the matches between the trifecta of brilliance here at the Live Lounge. 2 of the most decorated players, a combined 13 weekly titles between the two. Taylor, the Series 6 champion. Derek Coulson, perhaps the best player to have never won a series here. Wins this, he's into another Champions Night and potentially another date with destiny.
First leg, Scott.
What a night we've seen so far, Matthew Edgar.
Well, sometimes the pictures speak for themselves, don't they? And that table tells you everything you need to know.
100.
It has been carnage. It will continue to be carnage.
140.
There are so many different possibilities and permutations right now that see everybody in with a chance of qualifying.
100.
But didn't we say this afternoon, Neil Duff qualifying
93.
finals night would be the most Neil Duff thing ever? Wouldn't surprise me one bit, and it is certainly on.
100.
And his next game would be against Scott Taylor, who could be pretty much out by then.
Just a sense that there's just something lingering in the air, Matthew Edgar.
98.
We're talking about everybody else and the possibilities. This is very serious time now, isn't it, for Scott Taylor?
61.
The lifelines are over. The chances are done. It has to be now. And unfortunately for him, he's up against Derek Coulson, the weekly favourite.
96. Scott, you require 140.
Another. Unable to muster. Derek Coulson all night has only had 2 darts at a double.
Derek, you require 74.
Should get at least 1 to hit the frontier.
Just a single there, Derek. 20 for tops. For tops. Nice, clear, open target. The dart out
34.
of the way. Clips the top wire. Scott Taylor will come back for the same target. A target he absolutely loves.
Game shot on the first leg.
Continues to do
Scott
so.
Taylor.
Coulson being restricted
Second
to
leg,
opportunities.
Derek
Now,
first. Game on.
some players may panic in this situation. Derek Coulson doesn't come across as a panicker. Whether you speak to him,
60.
whether you watch him, he comes across very calm, very collected. And I believe him. There are certain people that try and perceive that calmness, but
140.
you can see it bubbling under the surface. Not with Derek.
Yeah, definitely no panic at the disco, despite the high hopes that many people have for Derek Coulson whenever he's here.
100. 140.
Is there a trail of thinking here that you could subscribe to that would say, so far this evening, when people have played Derek Coulson, they've stepped it up?
81.
I said this with Sam Munner in the last game he played, and how many times do we say it when we're sat here in this commentary box, Matt, that the best players
68.
play their best darts when they play better players, and that is exactly what's happening to Derek Coulson's opponents this evening. They're seeing probably the man that they've targeted, the man they've hunted down, and they've said, I've got to raise my game to play him, and they're doing exactly that up to press.
Scott, you
You know what that is?
153.
That's respect.
For 2-zip. For 2-zip, double 18, and a
James on the
153.
second leg.
Scott Taylor's found his mojo now, and Derek Coulson is being hit with everything.
Third leg, Scott to throw first.
Just look at Derek Coulson there.
Game on.
What's different about Derek Coulson right now? As if Derek Coulson was 2-0 up. Absolutely nothing. He gives nothing away, does DC.
125.
He will still believe he can turn this around. You've seen the fragile play that we've seen at times from Scott Taylor this evening. But it's not here right now. Look at those numbers from Scotty
97.
T.
Give or take, the average against Derek Coulson tonight is 107. 107.
96.
There are those players, aren't they, that curse their luck. Think that the draw works against them. Thinks that people only hit things against them. If Derek Coulson felt like that, I'd kind of give him a pass on that one tonight.
100.
How's your luck, Kev? Made famous by our pal KP, Kevin Painter, over the years.
180.
Taylor's on one. Taylor is on one. 113.76 and potentially back-to-back ton toppers. Potential 11 data. And Derek Coulson can only
60.
grin amidst what
Scott, you
is
require
being hit
100.
against him. He can't say he's done anything wrong.
Yeah, sometimes players just
60.
have these sort of groups, don't they? Remember at the Grand Slam a few years ago, Vessel Nyman didn't win a single game. Was it 109 average for the group and didn't win a match? That was his average, not his opponent's.
58.
Didn't he have the
Scott, you
highest
require
average of the
40.
tournament? Still lost to Jan van Veen, if I remember rightly.
James Shaw on the third
Taylor
leg.
takes out
Scott
tops. 13 data, 3-0, average of 109.98. 3 from 3 on the
Game on.
doubles. And Coulson with just a solitary dart of the outer ring by way of reply.
Well, it doesn't really matter what stat you choose or what stat you pick. Scott Taylor is absolutely dominating this fixture.
140.
Even if Coulson is able to step it up, he's going to need Scott Taylor to bring that
30.
down. Well, that's the start, maybe.
Just a point of reference, Matt. Derek Lewis this game 4-0. He's on 8 points minus 5 legs difference.
125.
Now, we won't have a situation where all 5 players will finish on 8 points in the group because Duff and Taylor have to play
58.
one another right at the very end. But he's certainly leaving himself vulnerable.
94.
Very vulnerable.
140. Derek, you require
You
142.
could get to 8 points and miss out. In fact, if a whole number of players get to 8 points, he's more likely than not to miss out. $110. Good recovery. Good response. Many people would have quivered amidst what's been hit against him, but Derek Coulson just comes back swinging amidst the
109.
punches that's been thrown at him.
Derek, you require 32.
His
And Sean,
response
the
is a
fourth leg.
13 data.
Derek Coulson.
There'd have been
Fifth leg,
so many
Scott
players,
to
Matt,
throw
in
first.
Derek
Game
Coulson's
on.
position that would have just thrown the towel in right now, but that's just not in DC's nature.
No, it's exactly what I was getting across, where
135.
there's no change in the demeanour. It's just the visit ahead of him. He doesn't play the continuum. He's not playing the game like a fan. He's playing it like the player. That's exactly what you need to do.
140.
He's getting experience at the top table. He'd have seen all this very recently.
139.
The problem is, there's just not enough time, it feels, here. Derek Coulson's playing his part. He's averaging just shy of 96, but he needs Scott Taylor to miss something. And that's where the problem lies.
100.
Coulson has stepped it up.
At this point, he wonders whether he's ran over a black cat, whether he's walked underneath a mirror, underneath a ladder.
40.
Underneath a ladder and then smashed the mirror. He could have walked underneath a mirror if it was hanging above.
105.
156.
93.
The
Derek
contest alive.
156.
If he doesn't, Taylor's back for 94.
$60. Scott, you require 94.
For the match, for 4-1 win. Was looking for double-double, unable to oblige.
19.
I don't like that shot there. A double-double should only
Derek, you
really
require
be done
96.
in those sort of desperation moments, especially on double 19. May have opened the door. We said we need Scott Taylor mistakes.
78.
Mistakes it needs to
Scott, you
be,
require
because one mistake
75.
won't be enough. Scott Taylor now to get the job done and really blow this group wide open.
55.
That would have caused carnage
Derek, you require
in
18.
Group B. Coulson's hanging on. Hanging on for dear life.
Game Sean the
But
fifth.
for as long
Derek
as he's in this contest, he has a chance. And in the contest,
Six
he
legs,
is still
Derek to
but just.
first.
But that
Game
break
on.
means this contest returns to throw. Wins this, we go all the way to the last leg to side, and all of a sudden, everything flips. The pressure's on Taylor.
100.
Because if he loses this game, he could be close to toast.
96.
With that expression, isn't there? You've got your man on toast. Does Derek Coulson feel he's got
135.
Scott Taylor on his toast? I think it's an old Newcastle expression, isn't it?
I don't know, because a leg ago I thought people could walk
58.
underneath mirrors. Maybe it's because I'm so short.
Yeah, that really unlucky Trent to walk in. under mirrors.
96.
But that's a good leg here from Coulson. 9 darts thrown on the throw, down to a finish. Scott Taylor has done so much right in the early part of this game. He's under the cosh now at the back end of it.
125. Derek, you
Do
require
you believe in
170.
momentum?
Do you believe in Derek Coulson? Oh, the big fish isn't going to go.
58.
Didn't have to go. Return to 112 to take us the distance, and all of a sudden Scott Taylor has the feel of a boxer who threw all of his big punches in the first few rounds. His opponent has
58.
fought back, and all of a sudden he's
Derek, you
got
require
nothing left to give.
112.
Finding himself moving closer and closer to the corner. His opponent edges closer towards him, and that canvas may
52.
not close on him just
Scott,
yet
you require
if
164.
he can find a 164 knockout punch.
Scott Taylor will be thinking, though, regardless of what happens here, I have the throw
95.
in the last leg.
Derek, you require 60.
Will we be going there?
$40.
Oh, snatchy.
Scott, you require
Is that
69.
a moment we look back on at the end of play tonight? Taylor's looking for 69. One dart at tops.
49.
One more match dart missed. He's had 2 to win this contest
Derek, you
across
require
2
20.
different legs. And he's
Danger on
not
the
going to
sixth
get
leg.
any more in leg
Derek
6.
Coulson.
We go all the way. Scott Taylor
7th and
led
final leg,
this
Scott
game
to
3-0,
Ferofirst.
was averaging
Game
way in excess of a ton, but Coulson has fought back. Taylor's level has nosedived. Coulson's picked up the pieces.
140.
Well, this leg feels like it was all about the first 3 darts. Absolute class and quality there for Scott Taylor, who will be feeling like he's letting this one slip away. His last
134.
chance saloon, really, to keep it all in his own hands. But great response from Coulson. This is absolutely
58.
textbook from both. But opportunity. Mistakes was required to let Derek Coulson back into this game, and these mistakes have been found.
100.
And for as much as this isn't Derek Coulson at his lightning best, there's a lot about what he's done which is so admirable the last few legs.
Oh, statistically not his very best. But oh, wow.
121.
Scott Taylor's gone wayward. Statistically not the best for Derek Coulson, but match play, game play. This has been exceptional. It's not all about the digits and the numbers in regards to the average column, which has continued to climb for the majority of this game. But you feel this is just 6 starts here now for Scott Taylor, and he is utilising them well.
134.
He has
Derek,
played his part as Derek
127.
Coulson got a knockout below.
It's the 1-2-7 and game. It's not there. Scott Taylor
59.
has another match-winning
Scott, you require
opportunity.
48.
He's missed 2 darts to win this contest. He's going to get 2 more at tops. He's not going to get any more. The worst dart of the game for Scott Taylor has come at the worst possible time. And from 3-0 up, he could be about to blow it.
24. Derek, you require 68.
Unbelievable. Derek Coulson was a bystander in this contest. Taylor's head is in his hands because Derek Coulson has pinched it at the last and has sealed his place in yet another Champions Night. Scott Taylor cannot believe he's thrown that game away. Derek Coulson is back in the biggest night that the Super Series has to offer, and he hopes that this time is his time, that this time is the time where he finally lifts the trophy that has forever eluded him. It wasn't the best of performances, but it was scrappy. It was nervy, but he did everything he had to do from 3-0 behind to win. And win he does by 4 legs to 3. Derek Coulson is into Champions Night.
What a dramatic night we have seen so far. But what we do know now is that Derek Coulson is through to Champions Night again. But my word, it wasn't simple. Coulson returns to the top of Group B. And now it's all about that young man there, Henry Coates, who can join Derek by qualifying for Champions Night through this group with a win over Scott Robertson, who will feel slightly aggrieved yet again, Matthew Edgar, that he lost his previous match with a ton plus average, a 1-2-4 checkout. How is he finding ways to lose in this group? Because
first leg,
you
Scott
could make a
first.
significant case
Game
that
on.
he should have a 100% record.
Welcome to Group B on Champions Week, where we don't just have champions, we have some of the best performing champions over the series.
45.
Group B is always a big clash, isn't it, on the week? Always tends to be the one that delivers the best standard, and no surprise to see that be the case here again on Champions
93.
Week. It's just got to stay, and I keep using this word in these groups when you're dealing with high quality operators, patience. He has to stay patient. He has to believe
58.
that what he is doing is enough. Doesn't want to go up there and start chasing, start pushing, start trying to find something. Scott Robertson is finding.
94.
You won't keep playing that well and losing. But you can start to look at the scoreboard and look at the table, and that scoreboard pressure can start to arise. Especially when you've got Neil Duffs at the bottom of the
98.
table, now on 4 points with 2 games in hand. Or 2 games to play, should I say.
A win for Robertson
98.
does eliminate Scott Taylor, who suffered heartbreak in that match against Coulson. You have to think that he threw it away, really, but
100.
inconsistencies coming to the fore once again. There was a moment in that match where Taylor was averaging almost 110. Did speculate he could go on and average 111 against Coulson even before that game.
140.
He was found out in the end. The former series champion Coates down to a finish against the darts in this opening leg.
96. Henry
good
requires
value
76.
with that win over Derek, 104 average, and be good value to take the opening leg here. Top of the shop.
56.
Not quite enough on
Scott,
it.
you require 104.
Stepping across. Had to give it a bit more welly. So Robertson now looking to show the youngster where
84.
tops is, but again, never up, never in.
Henry, you require 20. Game show on the first leg. Henry Coates.
Treble H gets that crucial break of throw at the earliest
Second leg, Henry
opportunity.
to throw first. Game on.
And the light at the end of the tunnel in this Group B is Champions Night.
140.
The narrative would be there. Well, the hard work's done, but the hard work normally comes after you get that early breaker throw to confirm it. How many times do we see someone break the throw early on and give it back straight away? Because you're still quite a way off from the finishing line. Henry Coates kicking off with a 140, showing 0 signs here of relinquishing.
54. $58.
Perfect. Inviting dart there right at the top of the treble.
100.
That's just why there was that little pause there after dart number 3. He would have been expecting a little bit more than just a ton.
$57.
I'm just left wondering just how much of a knock-on effect that defeat to Neil Duff will have on Scott Robertson.
I was just thinking exactly the same, Sam. Because Scott Robertson, for the first time now, going into match number 7,
89.
is starting to rack up a couple of treblers visits. That wasn't happening for him across those first 6 games.
$81.
That wayward
Henry
dart
require
has just given Henry
118.
Coates the luxury of time. Yes, Henry, it's in. 58 remaining. Tops. To double his lead,
Game
confirm
showing
the
the
break.
second leg. Henry
Quality
Coates.
once again from Henry Coates,
Third leg, Scott
who
to
right
throw
now is in
first.
full
Game on.
command of this game. Scott Robertson needs to get finding quick.
Looking really good to go back to the top of the Group B standings.
139.
Having that significantly better leg difference due to the defeat he inflicted on Coulson. Of course, Derek's wide margin defeat to Neil Duff. Duff averaging
90.
107. Tumpus averages have been no strangers in this group. Here's a question for you. Whoever does end up winning this group, do they go a favourite tomorrow night?
Oh, great question.
131.
I mean, Derek Coulson's going to go off favourite regardless of who wins this group. That's probably the realistic answer.
140.
Good question. See, I like Archie Self. He's been really impressive. Ashley Coleman obviously winning the group that included the likes of Henry Coates and Derek Coulson, who are currently in the top 2 positions.
Scott, you require
So it's
122.
a really, really hard one to say, but undoubtedly Coulson's going to go off favourite tomorrow.
Well, this isn't the Scott Robertson
62. Henry, you require 149.
we have seen, not just last night in the early stages of tonight, but also winning his week last week.
99.
Coming into
Scott, you
it
require
in
60.
a rich vein of form, but a reprieve for Scott. But look at this, he's now scrambling around for just big numbers.
42.
And the doubles aren't really
Henry, you
playing
require
ball
50.
now. Action stations for Robertson. Coach just looking to keep powering along.
40.
This is a
Scott,
gift
you
now.
require
Robertson
18.
simply has to get going here.
He's on a double. Not many players enjoy. Got to be aggressive here with his darts.
10.
But that's why players don't enjoy it. You go
Henry, you
inside,
require
you lose
10.
the opportunity. This is not, as you mentioned, the Scott Robertson we have seen so far. Is he going to get away with it?
No score.
He is.
Bafflement on the
Scott, you
face
require 8.
of Henry Coates. I don't think Scott Robertson can quite believe he's got another go at the double.
Game showing the third leg.
But he finds
Scott
it,
Robertson.
and he's back in this match.
Fourth leg,
And
Henry to
Scott
throw
Robertson
first. Game on.
averaging 80.
And you would have felt a lot of emotions
97.
during his campaign. Not just this week, but last week as well when he picked up his title. But for the first time this week, that will be relief at the end of winning a leg.
96.
So far this Champions League, Scott
134.
Robertson's weakest performance, average-wise, was 92.38.
140.
He's now mid-80s. Well, it is just a guide, as we so often hear, but
140.
Coates has left the little fish. Robertson will turn his attentions to the 19s.
$133. Henry require 130.
He's the treble.
65.
So from the little fish
Scott, you
to the
require
champagne.
132.
Robertson, after nailing the 9 last night, deserves a bit of champagne. Will he persevere with the bull? He did, but maybe that wasn't totally wise. It was in the bottom of the bullseye. Didn't look like there was much room for
116.
manoeuvre.
Henry requires 65.
Tops.
Game show on the fourth leg.
Coates isn't found
Henry
wanting on the
Coates.
outer ring this time. Moves a leg away
Fifth
from
leg,
qualification.
Scott to throw first. Game on. $140.
Scott Robertson faces Derek Coulson against the darts in his final match of Group B.
180.
Henry Coates rounds off this evening's proceedings with a match against Neil Duff, who may well need a win. Duff faces Taylor in what could be a straight knockout after this one. Now reaching Group B's crescendo
140.
as Coates gets 5 out of 6.
$60.
Robertson down to a finish after 9. But due to the tremendous scoring power of
59.
Coates,
Scott,
he's
you require
only been a
161.
slightly better one though. Robertson needs to find something magnificent, and he could do so with the ball.
136.
My word, what an effort. What an effort.
Henry, you require 122.
So that could be that. Cursory glance. And Coates didn't look wholly settled
46.
on approach there.
Scott, you require 25.
Well, this for a holder throw for Robertson to keep his hopes alive.
Game show on the fifth leg.
That's another tick in the box there for Scott Robertson. He enjoyed that one as well,
Six-leg
didn't he?
Henry to
Very
throw first.
little
Game on.
reactions do we normally see from Scott Robertson, but he knows the importance right now. When that heightens, you start to see a little bit more emotion in the players. But this is the tricky
180.
leg. It's the tricky leg because Henry Coates is throwing first, and then we'll double it up with the fact he's kicked off with a max.
Grouping on it as well, but Robertson with a perfect reply.
180.
It's great darts, but all it does is put us back to the same situation that before a dart was thrown, and that's Henry Coates throwing first. Instead of being from 501, it's from 321. It's an even shorter format.
$97.
Vital. That treble 19 was vital. And even then, it might not be enough.
65.
Coates, 116 points away from a spot in Champions Night. Robertson would love to fill it, but has strayed wildly into the treble 5.
Would be wise to look downstairs here.
94.
Nice play. The 130,
Henry, you
a
require
nice leave.
116.
Keeps him on that straight dark corridor of the 20s.
Just pauses. Big moment. Is this the
Game
moment?
shot,
Oh,
and a
yes,
match.
it
Henry
is. Henry Coates firing in ton plus checkout for fun. And that is that for him. He is into Champions Night and has followed Derek Coulson with a lovely little smile there from young Henry. Only one more spot is left. Will it be Robertson? Will it be Taylor? Will it be Duff? What we do know, Coulson and Coates, the two lads from Group A, have qualified from Group B into Champions Night. The knockout action starts now for Neil Duff and Scott Taylor. The loser is eliminated. One spot remains. Who, out of Neil Duff, Scott Taylor and Scott Robertson, will join Ashley Coleman, Jack Aldridge, Archie Self, Derek Coulson, and now Henry Coates into the star-studded Champions Night lineup. What an effort it has been so far by the Duff man here this evening. 0 from 4 yesterday, 2 out of 2 here tonight. He still has his 2 matches left to fulfill starting here. He has the darts against Taylor, who has had time to stew and manifest that defeat to Coulson. Henry Deacon has joined me back in the commentary box.
95.
Can't even begin to describe the rage that Taylor would be feeling after throwing that match away against Derek.
Yeah, led 3-0, looked comfortable,
58.
averaging around about 106 and change before losing it. But welcome to Champions Week, Elimination Chamber. Because 2 of the most decorated players in this building are playing off to see who survives. And there is a possibility that both of them will depart stage left come the end of play this evening. Not to be seen again in Series 14. If it's for Neil Duff, he'll be back on Monday for the start of Double Trouble 5.
96.
That is not in his mind yet. He wants what Scott Taylor has had before.
140. Neil, you require 170.
It certainly would be a monumental effort if Duff can somehow find a way into Champions Night.
81.
Yeah, the winner will move on to 6 points. Neil would still play Henry Coates. That would be Scott
60.
Taylor's lot. He'll be relying on Derek
Neil, you
Coulson
require
to
89.
do him a solid against Scott Robertson. As a look at Scott's score, realises he's not on a finish, so plots his path accordingly.
49.
Will return for tops to get the first chalk on the board.
93. Neil, you require 40.
Taylor looking somewhat deflated. Duff can't believe that didn't go in.
Game
that
on the
did.
first leg. Neil Duff. Second leg, Scott to throw first.
Neil Duff a
Game
leg
on.
to the good. Tell me if I'm being unfair here, but it's felt as if Scott Taylor's
57.
campaign in this Champions Week has just never got going at any point.
Well, he was second in the table coming into tonight.
I know, but even then, it didn't feel as if we saw the Scott Taylor that
59.
we've seen him week after week here.
93.
13 regulation titles between them. In addition to that, you have Taylor's series title.
55.
These two do play on the edge. Emotions, aggression.
60.
Two players who wear their hearts very firmly on their sleeve.
125.
And time is running out for both. It's been like that for Duff all night.
40.
As I say, Taylor was second coming into tonight's action, and it was very much in his own hands. He was in control of his own destiny.
138.
Well, it's not Neil Duff's best, but he's really imposing himself on this contest. 1, 2, 4 left after a dozen.
140. Neil, you
Double his
require
lead to
124.
2-0. Taylor leaving himself on 111 just in case. Took out a 1-2-1 to win his previous game. And he almost took out the 1-2-4 to go 2 up in this.
111.
Will Tops be an ally?
91.
But they were once good friends, and
Neil, you
now
require
they've had a bit of a
25.
falling out. Scott Taylor and double top. Duff needs double 4.
Game shot on the
And
second
double
leg.
4 he
Neil Duff.
gets for a 2-0 advantage.
Third leg, Neil to throw first.
What a night he
Game
is
on.
having. But it may well all be academic in the end. He's still got to face Henry Coates, and given the form shown
81.
by Henry this evening, it's still a monumental task ahead of Duff.
However, can I give you some devil's advocate?
100.
Always.
Henry Coates is through, so that natural adrenaline that was causing through his body, we don't know whether that just coming out the system a little bit is going to lead him to relax and play his good stuff, or relax to a point where maybe he's just off it by the odd point or two.
96.
Point taken. But for Henry Coates, it's a chance to eliminate a threat.
And if Neil Duff is lurking around on
95.
Saturday night, he will be there or thereabouts. Don't you worry about that.
He'll be telling all the players
58.
in that room tomorrow night all about it. He'll be commanding that players' room. Things are going well
85.
for Neil here tonight. And they have gone from bad to worse for Taylor.
Well, it's not just the darts that's taken centre stage in this city this weekend. There's a big
55.
weekend of sailing taking place.
Neil, you
And
require
Scott Taylor
140.
finds himself in real choppy waters. Duff at 6 for a 3-0 lead. And Scott Taylor could be sunk very quickly.
60.
He's himself on a 2-darter to put himself into a nigh on unassailable position. And to send the only former champion in this field packing
60.
potentially.
Neil, you require 80.
There's already a look of resignation, it seems, on Scott Taylor's face.
60.
Survives a dart for 3-0, but he has to find
Scott, you
something
require
flashy here.
132.
It's not happening. And there
52.
is a real aura
Neil, you
of
require
resignation
20.
and a defeatist attitude from Taylor. As Duff
15.
scuppers a chance for that 3-0 lead.
Scott, you require 80.
Could have left it a whole lot more favourable. Has to stay straight. Does so. Tops.
41.
Wicked deflection.
As you say, he is having
Neil,
a
you
lover's
require
tip
5.
on that target. Head in hands. It's the madhouse.
Game shot on
It's
the
there,
third
of
leg.
course it's
Neil
there.
Duff.
Eventually Duff gets over the line. 3-0 to the good,
Fourth
one
leg,
away.
Scott to throw first. Game on.
Scott Taylor, the former champion, is staring Champions Week elimination square in the face. He has to do
45.
what Derek Coulson did to him in the previous match that he played. Come back from 3-0 behind to win 4-3.
100.
Duff wins this 4-0. He is a leg behind Scott Robertson, who currently occupies that final qualification spot.
17.
He needed to win big, and he has done just that and is in the process of doing so again.
180.
He's given himself every opportunity.
42.
In football in Spain, when somebody's reign as a manager is over, they wave white handkerchiefs in the air. I think that's exactly what Scott Taylor's doing right now.
135.
Duff back for 86. And he can plot his path accordingly because Scott Taylor is, after 9 darts, just straggling outside the 400s.
92. Neil, you require 86.
That could be his final 3 darts of Champions Week. As Neil Duff needs double 4 for another whitewash win. And the hopes of Neil Duff are still very much alive and kicking. Scott Taylor is out. Duff, for now at least, is still in. He needs Derek Coulson to do him a big favour by defeating Scott Robertson. That match is coming up after this break.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Champions Week 14 heads down to its final couple of games in Group B, and we're none the wiser as to who the last qualifier is going to be. We know Scott Taylor's out of the race. That was because he lost 4-0 to Neil Duff, who, despite losing all of his games on Thursday evening, is still in with a chance of making it through. If Scott Robertson wins this match by a 4-0 or 4-1 scoreline over Derek Coulson here, he would qualify through. We would know the 6 that will be playing for the £25,000 tomorrow night. If Coulson wins with any other scoreline, Neil Duff would have an opportunity against Henry Coates
41
to get the job done. we've got drama heading into the wee hours here on the South Coast. Matthew Eggers joined me in commentary for the final couple of games of
134.
Group B here in Champions Week 14, and what a pleasure it is to be sat next to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
The niceties end there. But Derek Coulson's got his job done. He has an opportunity to finish on 12 points in this group to try and top the group. Ironically, the prize of topping the group would be to put himself alongside Archie Self and potentially Neil Duff. I don't know what kind of a rule that is.
Said before a dart was even thrown in this group, it's going to be carnage and it's going to come down to the wire. We are talking a matter of a leg going into the final 2 round of fixtures, separating players for that final spot.
99.
When you're going up and you're looking for a result to try and resist the challenge of Neil Duff, surely the last person you want to play is Derek Coulson. And I know you can spin that narrative of, well, Derek's already qualified. Yes, but you could still win the group. And Derek's not built that way where
Scott, you require
the intensity may come from his game. If anything, he'll get better.
As for Scott Robertson, this isn't
44.
hyperbole to say that this is one of the biggest matches he's ever played.
Fair.
Top to DC.
100.
Just underneath. Robertson may just get a dart at a
Scott,
ball.
you require 84.
But it is an opportunity nonetheless to get an opening leg breaker throw. 14 leaves the ball. Didn't even contemplate the treble. It's the bullseye.
59.
It's not far away, but far enough away to give
Derek, you
DC
require
this
20.
secondary opportunity at double 10.
Game shot on the first leg. Derek Coulson.
Finds it with the second dart. Leads 1-0.
Second leg, Scott to throw first. Game on.
1-0 to the good. 3 away from giving Neil Duff the almightiest of
134.
lifelines. Now, if Derek Coulson gets a second leg in this game, Scott Robertson cannot qualify directly through this contest. He would have to hope
48.
Coates does a job over Duff.
We've had groups like this before, haven't we, where we've had drama. But we've never had groups like this where we've had the drama, but we've also had it at the highest
95.
quality. I think every single game this evening has delivered in one way or another. And there's still an almighty twist or turn still to come as of yet.
And you know what? Us broadcasters sometimes,
42.
Matt, can be found guilty of over-egging puddings and sometimes making something to be a lot bigger and a lot better than actually what it is. Don't need to give this any more sell than what we're currently seeing because they're providing the goods, all 5 players. Robertson of a maxi to leave himself on a 2-darter after 9.
Well, it's one of those nights, isn't it, where the darts are really doing the talking.
60. Scott, you require 92.
Well, it's a chasm in this leg.
$52.
Tops after 12, and even a maxi ain't going to lead Derek Coulson on a finish with 3-5-1 left. It's an off leg, but to a certain extent, because it's on the Robertson throw, it doesn't do too much damage.
Exactly that. That'll be exactly the thought pattern of Derek Coulson. For Scott Robertson, it was a very positive leg, wasn't it? Taking the double out with the first dart in hand, a nice 13-darter. Should give him some confidence here in his attempt to attack the throw of DC.
Well, Scott Robertson's out for some kind of revenge because in this meeting yesterday, Derek Coulson averaged 105.5 in a 4-3 victory. That was when Robertson was being hit by big average after big average. Henry Coates an average 103 against him in the game thereafter.
Didn't like that one, did he?
100.
Snatchy dart for Derek Coulson, which you've got to remember, this is day 5 of play here for Derek Coulson.
$131.
How can you not be impressed with Scott Robertson? Did get a few messages yesterday from his fellow Scotsman.
59.
Just letting me know how good he truly is. Let me know that the darts we are seeing down at the Super Series is only a small window of the quality of which he has got. He is not overperforming.
100.
Well, Scotland's WDF team this year have won the British Darts Championship, the Tri-Nations, if you will, for the first time since 2008, and the Six Nations title for the first time since 2003. And Scott Robertson has been instrumental
97.
to both of those efforts.
Scott, you require
But let's see how good this
130.
effort's going to be on this 130 to put himself 2-1 to the good. And potentially put himself within a couple of legs of qualification.
105.
Bullseye goes amiss.
Derek, you require 150.
Coulson's not going to get the 150. Can only try and apply pressure from this point.
58.
He was unable to do that. Does leave himself on a 2
Scott, you
darter.
require
But Robertson
25.
should get 2 at a double.
Game shot on the third
13
leg.
followed by
Scott
a
Robertson.
14. And for 1-0 down, Scott Robertson's 2-1 to the good and
Full
potentially
flex,
2
Scott
legs
to
away
throw first.
from a place in Champions Night. The final place into tomorrow
Game
night's
on.
Series 14 finale.
This is meant to be someone who's inexperienced in this sort of level of darts. But just like he has throughout the entirety of this campaign, delivering.
57.
And looking like he's playing well within himself, isn't he, Scott Robertson? Sometimes you can watch a player and think you're literally playing at the peak of your powers. With Scott Robertson, he just looks so comfortable at this level.
And do you know what? More than anything, it looks like he's
60.
enjoying it. Looks like he's relishing the challenge. How many times do we see a player get to a week like this and they almost play within themselves? They shackle themselves up. It's a complete and utter opposite here for Scott.
96.
When you're playing with freedom, when you're playing with a smile, it's such an easy game to play. And I emphasise the word game.
55.
That's why we start this sport, isn't it? Because it's a game, because it's fun. And I saw a great quote the other day, which was from Wayne Mardle, who said, the better you get, the less
57.
you enjoy it. And it's so, so true. Not for Scott Robertson. He's finding a way to enjoy this level of darts. There's £25,000 on the line this week.
100.
So what you're saying is you didn't enjoy playing Darius Labanauskas at the World Championships?
Absolutely not.
And even less so the second time?
Yes. Didn't enjoy either. It's not fun.
96.
However, you did win a game at the World. That's all that matters. One more than I'm ever going to do.
134.
I walked on the stage, which is more than you'll ever do, Henry.
Hey, I've walked on the lakeside as many times as you have. And in fact, I was on the stage for longer.
But you got paid significantly less.
Coulson here looking to play at the Ali Pally come the end of the year potentially because of what he's doing on the Challenge Tour. Look at a 152 to level up at 2-2. Unable to get, which means Robertson's returning for 55. Gets this. He could be to within a leg
60.
of sending himself into
Scott, you
Champions
require
Night and
55.
making game 10 of the evening a dead rubber. Double 18. Northeast side. Double 14.
41.
Do we
Derek,
look back at that moment
92.
a little bit later on?
Well, we may have to start analysing it here. If Derek Coulson can find double 16, an area of the board which is normally very profitable for him, because a dart like that actually helps.
60.
How has he not used that? I was certain that was going to go.
Scott, you require 14.
You don't get many reprieves against that man. But Scott Robertson's got one. He has to take it. Now he's scrapping around a double 2. But
Games
gets
on the
it.
4th flag. Scott
Numerically, it's one of the smallest on the
5th leg,
board.
Derek to throw
But in
first.
terms of
Game on.
importance, that is massive for Robertson. And he's now 1 leg away from Champions Night, but he has to win this leg against the
100.
Coulson darts.
Imagine being Neil Duff right now in the back room, who's worked so hard this evening to pick up those 3 wins. And not only that, to rectify his legs difference with 2 4-0 victories. He has played exceptionally, has worked and battled
136.
hard, and right now he'll be in the back room hoping that Derek Coulson can get some legs on the board. And normally, if you could pick and choose and go, right, I need someone to go in and bat for me, Coulson would be top of the list.
180.
Well, in his previous match, Derek Coulson came back from a 3-0 deficit to beat Scott Taylor 4-3. Neil Duff is hoping that he can make some headway here
137.
whilst behind.
There's a significant difference here, though, and that is look at the quality and the barrage of trebles that Scott Robertson continues to find. He's ran
60.
around about 100 average for the majority of this match. And a good shot here puts him in the driving seat. Coulson hasn't set himself handy yet. And that is inviting. It is so inviting.
180.
Neil Duff, the 7-time
Derek
weekly
White,
winner,
161.
may well be departing us at Champions Week 14. Scott Robertson comes back looking at 48.
93.
What a dream week it's been.
Scott, you require
Won his
48.
first title last Saturday. Now looking to get through to the big one this Saturday. Double 16. 2 8s.
40.
2 darts have come and gone, and this is how quickly things can change.
You can't
Derek,
fault
you
the
require
throw.
68.
Throw him well. Just the wrong side of the wire. That is darts. The head is in the hands. He's hoping to hear a score.
54.
The score has come. He's back again.
Scott, you require 8.
3 more opportunities, and you can see the seismic nature of this moment for Scott Robertson. He's won and done so much this year. And
Game
now
shot.
he's
And the match,
into a
Scott
Super Series
Robertson.
Champions Night. He needed to win 4-1. He does win 4-1. Scott Robertson is the final player in tomorrow's showpiece finale at the Super Series. He's looking to become just the 2nd player to do the 2-week burst. After Scott Taylor, who won Series 6, Scott Robertson's looking to follow in his footsteps in Series 14. Derek Coulson will also be there, but one man who won't be is Neil Duff. His latest conquests for Champions Week titles come to an end. His dream 7 days go on. Weekly winner last Saturday, 9 darter last night, and Champions Night tomorrow. He beats Derek Coulson 4-1, and we will hear from Scott Robertson. We'll get his reaction after the break.
Well, there's still one more match to go in Group B, but in terms of qualification, it is done and dusted. It's Scott Robertson who went into his final match of the group against Coulson, who had already qualified, needing a 4-1 win or better. He got the 4-1 win. That means he is through at the expense of Neil Duff, who has put in a Herculean effort here this evening. After not getting any win last night, he was 3 from 3. He could end up going 4 from 4, and yet he will still miss out on Champions Night. The wait goes on for the Duff man, but it's Robertson that joins Coulson and Coates to complete the Champions Night lineup. When will the drama end? Well, it will end in Champions Night tomorrow. But I am with Scott Robertson. After nailing the 9 last night, you've made it through to Champions Night. It seemed really tense. It seemed downright exhausting. Talk me through it.
Really exhausting. I thought I played okay in patches. I was good sometimes, bad the next times, but I'm just so overwhelmed to get over the line. I'm just chuffed, honestly.
Well, you do deserve it. The numbers will tell us that. And speaking to you briefly last night, you felt obviously the elation of hitting the perfect leg, your first one in front of the cameras, under the lights, of course, but you felt as though you deserved more than what the points tally suggested.
I always said I would trade the 9 in for 4 points tonight, and I got the 4 points tonight, so I'm absolutely chuffed, honestly.
You're exhausted, aren't you?
Very tired. I need my bed. Honestly, I need my bed.
Did you know the sort of stakes going into that match against Derek about the scoreline you required?
No, I just knew I had to win. I just thought to myself, just win the game, and then you'll be fine. I knew that 8 points was enough.
It might not have been. You might well have been relying on young Henry to have done you a favour. But look, you did exactly what you needed to do, and now you can look ahead to Champions Night. The trophy is right next to you. You've been looking at it throughout that break. I did notice, but you daren't not touch it. No,
definitely not. But you never know. Maybe tomorrow night I can really turn up. You just don't know. That is a funny game. It really is. Struggling back there just now, trying to win legs, thinking, win legs, just do enough to win games. And as I said, I'm just over the moon, mate. Honestly, over the moon.
Well, let's take a look at the qualification moment. It came against Derek there. It feels as though it was really targeted by the rest of you here this evening, but the emotion pouring out of you there, and it was confirmed with the smoke, with the gold lights, and yeah, Derek got a hug for his trouble, and that's it. You are through.
Double two's never been good to me, but it was tonight, and you just put your head down and throw it and just hope it goes in. But no, honestly, I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. I'm in finals night and Champions Week. In fact, I can't believe I'm in Champions Week anyway, if I'm being honest with you. I've rode my luck the whole time, but I'll keep riding it anyway.
Well, you have earned it, nevertheless, and we will be seeing you back here tomorrow night for the big one. You, sir, are very much in the mix. Congratulations on making it through this evening. Time for our final match of the group. It's Duff against Coates, and it's Edgar and Deacon in the commentary box.
Thank you, Mulliner. Now, you can hear this quiet in the arena. Can you hear that quiet? That silence? That nothing in the auditorium? Well, it's the last time you're going to hear that this week, because when we get to tomorrow's play, it is going to be rammed. It is going to be loud. It is going to be lively. This, the last behind closed doors game of Series 14. When we get to tomorrow night, we get to the good bit. We get to the business end. And we get to the bit where we'll find out who's going to be drowned in a sea of gold confetti.
Well, we know it's not going to be Neil Duff who steps on the stage for the last time this week. We will see him next week in the Double Trouble week, but full credit, isn't it, tonight for Neil Duff? He has really battled hard and tried and scrapped and performed so well.
180.
What's going on here? Last night, Neil Duff was on the receiving end of Scott Robertson's 9-dart leg. And right at the very beginning of this contest, Henry
60.
Coates is
Henry require
threatening
141.
something similar. But dart 7 goes a-begging.
The point I was working towards there before Henry
45.
Coates rudely interrupted with some incredible darts was the fact that Neil Duff's been so good tonight, but the damage was just done, wasn't it, yesterday? Even
60.
one win yesterday would have
Henry
gave him
require
some form of
96.
hope. You don't have as much wiggle room in a Group B.
Yeah, it's not nice when a
56.
Henry interrupts you mid-flow, is it, Matt?
Happens all the time.
$95. Henry require 40. Game shot on the first leg.
darter to get
Henry
Coates up
Coates.
and running. Neil Duff will be getting
Second
his
leg,
coat
Neil
come the end of
to
this
throw
game.
first. Game on.
And the next task will be to become the first player to win double trouble on 2 occasions.
100.
At the start of the week, all of us pundits were given a slip of paper by our producer. It looked almost like a hall pass from secondary school.
100.
But on that slip of paper, we were asked who we thought were going to do what.
I know what I put down for the weekly winner.
140.
And I am undeterred, shall we say.
Please elaborate more, Sir Matthew of the Edgar variety.
60.
Well, thank you very much, Henry. I went with Derek Coulson. I would like to say
130.
I'm still as blinkered in my opinion, but I like Scott Robertson. I like Henry Coates. I like Archie Self.
44.
Tomorrow
Henry
is
require
going to be
131.
good.
And don't forget that Ashley Common will be lingering as
91.
well. The Group A winner. Nobody's spoken about him.
81. Henry require 40.
I don't think that's down to the fact that no one really
Neil, you
believes he
require
can win it. I think it's just
116.
out of sight, out of mind. We are blinded by the quality of which we have seen across Group C and Group B the past couple of days.
98.
To see that
Henry
competitive
require
spirit
5.
there in Neil Duff, can't you? Even though he can't qualify, still battling,
Game
still
shot on the
wanting
second
more.
leg. Henry Coates.
He's not finding here. It's Henry Coates. who
Third
is
leg, Henry
halfway
to
to
throw
victory.
first. Game on.
Confirms that breaker throw.
It's now the time when I say that I backed Henry Coates to win this group and then win Champions Week.
97.
If that's what you did, then crack on, Henry. Let us know.
I know you enjoy an occasional bit of my punditry.
60.
No, if you've gone for that, absolutely bask in it. It's not very often, you're right.
Broken
57.
clocks and all of that.
$85.
Just thinking about the lineup tomorrow evening. Every single player has a different case, don't they?
Yeah, that's the exciting part.
139.
And everyone's a different story. Everyone's at a different stage of their journey.
100.
And do you know, I think that's ignorance is bliss tomorrow night. That's why I've got a sneaky suspicion about young Archie.
100.
Would become the third teenager to win it after... Well, sorry, fourth teenager to win it after Jensen Walker, Jack Drayton and Littler twice.
140. Henry require 108.
Drayton being 19, Walker being 18 and Littler 16 on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, that's 3, not 4.
Yeah, he'd become the 4th.
48.
That's what the whole
Well,
idea of
you're
being
quite
the
right.
4th
Yeah,
would be.
I thought you said 4th.
No,
Fourth,
no,
yeah,
no, no,
okay.
no.
Yep.
96.
Another chance.
Henry requires 60.
Drops a little bit low for the Duff man. Henry Coates has been so good at this, where he works around a dart. He hasn't repositioned himself
Game
on the
shot
hockey.
third leg. Henry Coates.
Doesn't affect
Fourth
him
leg,
one
Neil
bit there.
to throw first. Game on.
Bit of mastery there from Henry Coates. A lot of people would have returned back to the original position.
85.
That tells me he is well practiced. Got good routine.
Well, it's potentially the last leg of Group B of this Champions League. Why not Henry Coates? Win it with a 9-darter. I know I've gone early.
60.
Yeah, you went after dart 1.
But he could.
140.
But dart 6 goes a-begging.
He's teasing us, isn't he? The now confirmed Group B winner. Teasing us to the 9.
Yeah, he would take on Scott Robertson in his first game tomorrow night. Archie Self will also be in that group. So we know that Group 1 is going to be
81.
Ashley Coleman, Derek Coulson, Jack Aldridge. Group 2, Henry Coates, Scott Robertson and Jack Aldridge. And this is an 11-darter and a ton plus
100.
average to bring this group to a close. Tops.
Game shot,
Henry
man of the match,
Coates
Henry Coates.
seals it in style. An 11-darter, an average just under 102. He is the Group B winner, and he is going to take some stopping tomorrow night when he takes part in his first Champions Night. We're going to hear from him. We're going to hear from Derek Coulson as well on the other side of this short break, as we now know the 6th player lineup for Champions Night 14.
Well, we now have our Champions Night lineup. What an effort from Neil Duff, but it's just not good enough. He gave himself too much to do. And a 4-0 defeat to Henry Coates, who has ended up winning Group B. What a relieved man Scott Robertson was, getting that crucial third spot. Derek Coulson as well, completing that lineup, finishing up on 10 points. All of his good work came last night, where he went 4 out of 4. Now then, it's very cosy in here, as we have our final 2 that have completed the lineup. Henry, I'll start with you. You've won the group. A solid week's work so far.
Yeah, so far I had a bit of a off night with the last 2 games last night, but came in today, fresh mind, and asked them to do the work.
Derek, did you feel like a bit of a targeted man coming in tonight?
No, not really. I just played poorly, simple as that. Never really got going, a lot of legs, and I can't really complain. Everybody played well. I mean, Henry was class all night, played absolutely superb. I think Neil came in, he didn't want to lose another one. You can tell he had the bit between his teeth, and yeah, that was a tough one. He played awesome, so I can't really complain. But for myself, just there was nothing there. So absolutely over the moon to get through after that.
Your good work came last night, and you knew full well that you only really needed 1 win coming into tonight. You got that against Scott Taylor, but it wasn't simple.
No, it wasn't. He let me off again. Again, I think I was 3-0, 3-1 down, something like that. And I just sort of relaxed after that, and they started to go. But I was struggling to release the dart. I was dragging them. They were a bit sticky, but I can't really use that as an excuse. But I was struggling to release the dart properly. And then you try to force it, and it doesn't work when you try and force the dart. So yeah, I've got a bit of work to do tomorrow. I have to put a bit of practice in and try and figure out what's going wrong, and hopefully put it right.
But you got that crucial win. You're into another Champions Night. And Matt, I'll come to you on the other side of me now. Yes, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's just about getting there, I suppose.
It's exactly what we said at the start of the night, wasn't it? It doesn't matter if you're in 3rd place by legs difference, legs won, however it is. We don't discuss that tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, there's 6 players battling out for £25,000 and the trophy. How you get there is kind of irrelevant. You'd rather do that than be Neil Duff, who's going home now, who produced some amazing darts tonight, but the damage was done yesterday.
He's not going home tonight. He's back here on Monday morning for double trouble, but nevertheless. Henry, after Derek got his win to book his spot, you quickly followed suit. Speaking to Scott Robertson, he seemed exhausted, and it was really tense. It was nervy. How did it feel for you?
One of them, the heat doesn't help, but it's the same for everyone. So you just got to put up with it. And you could tell with Scott that he was getting tired, but they're always late nights, these sessions. So, I mean, I had the same last night. I was just exhausted. Probably didn't prepare right, but tonight I've put it right and I've got there.
Scott Robertson was sat exactly where you are just around about 20 minutes ago. Very, very close to that trophy. You've had the Rising Star one. You've got your weekly win to earn your spot into Champions Week. It's almost touching you now. You dare not touch it, I suppose. What would it mean to you to have your name on this trophy? Just look at the names on it, the Littlers and fellow young guns, I suppose, in Jensen Walker, Charlie Mammy, Jack Drayton.
Yeah, exactly. They're all good players, and yeah, just to get my hands on it, it'd mean everything at the minute. And hopefully tomorrow night I can play my best again and go one step further.
Well, Matt, Scott Robertson, he was physically, emotionally drained. And it was evident for everyone to see just how much it means to him. He only got his maiden win here last week, and now he finds himself into Champions Night.
The wild card of the pack, really, wasn't he, Scott Robertson? People who sort of follow darts religiously, look at the international circuit, you'll know Scott Robertson and know how good he is. But people who just watch things like the Super Series or the Pro Tours or the darts on the TV, Scott Robertson will be a new name to them, someone they're not too familiar with. came through last week, riding the crest of a wave. You put him in that Group B, and you look at the CVs of the players in it. You look at the reputations, and he stood out. And he stood out probably for the wrong reasons. And you go, is he going to struggle in this group? Absolutely not. He found his best starts time and time again, and he was impressive. And Scott Robinson, coming into this, I didn't know too much about him. You do your research, you look at the numbers, you look at what he's got, and you think he's got to step it up, and he really did. He's a challenger tomorrow. He absolutely is.
Yeah, and Derek, you'll know that as well because you've shared a group with him on occasion before, so many people may not have known all about him, but you did.
Yeah, I think I said it that week. He didn't get through to the Saturday, but I was really impressed with the way he plays and in his game. And I think I said at the end of the week, we need to get him back here because the guy's quality. And like Matt said, there'll be people who wouldn't have known him unless they play on the circuit that he plays on. He doesn't go to Q School, he doesn't do the Challenge Tour. I'm quite glad about that, if I'm honest. But so there will be people who don't know him, but they certainly do know him now. He was class. But him and Henry are the two best players in this Group B by far. Well, and let's crystallise it then and confirm the breakdown and the lineup for the 14th edition of Champions Night. Ashley Coleman has had his feet up for 2 days, allowing the others to battle it out. But it's Coates, it's Coulson, it's Robertson from Group B, and it's Archie Self and Jack Aldridge. A very Group A flavoured feel about Champions Night. And gentlemen, let's take a look at the groups for tomorrow. Group 1, Ashley Coleman, Derek Coulson, Jack Aldridge, all renewing their rivalry from Group A. Henry, you're in with Archie Self and Scott Robertson, and again, you know all about them both now. Henry, I'll start with you. Quick reaction to the group you're in tomorrow.
Quality, both groups, but knowing Archie since we were both about 10, well, since Archie was about 10, I can remember him at the British Youth Open where I've not heard much of him. He put in a 93 average or something and beat me 3, and I was like, right, this is one of the names. And yeah, it's just another one of them. Obviously, Scott is quality. So yeah, it's just a night to look forward to tomorrow.
It certainly is, Derek. You're in Group 1 again, and Ashley Coleman and Jack. I mean, 5 out of the 6 Group A players have wound up in Champions Night.
Yeah, I think when I looked at the Group A, I could see 5 players getting through without being disrespectful to the rest, but I could generally see 5 getting through, and I'm not surprised. It's going to be very, very tough. 2 great players, and like Henry said, the other group as well. You know, there's no gimmies in that. If you're going to need to, whoever plays tomorrow, they're going to have to turn up and play darts. You're not going to get away with an 80 average tomorrow night.
We've been struggling all week to try and decide for the players that are going to drop out of these groups. Looking at those ones for tomorrow, I don't know. Shed some light.
Well, you're going to ask me, aren't you, tomorrow as well, I'm sure, in trying to pick a winner out of that lot, which is going to be a tricky task. But one thing that really stood out for me was the different stories and the different journeys of the players. They're all at different stages of their careers. But when we saw the 6 players come up there who are going to be competing tomorrow, I was looking, I was going, what's the biggest title that player's won? What's the biggest title that player's won? I would argue that this is going to be the biggest title on the CV for the winner tomorrow, whoever picks this up. And with that, we're going to get a lot of adrenaline. We're going to get some fiery moments, and it's going to be good. Adrenaline's good. If you can channel it in the right way, what it's going to do for the senses, what it's going to do for the body, it's going to bring out the very best art. This is going to be explosive in here tomorrow.
Matt, thank you very much. Derek, Henry, congratulations and best of luck for tomorrow. It's not going to be good. It's going to be great. And make sure you do join us. There's still plenty more to come here on the Modus Super Series channel here on Pluto TV. Coming up after the break, we have the Royal Rumble one for you, Mr. Edgar. And then tomorrow afternoon, it's Luke Humphreys here at the Live Lounge. And join us from 7 o'clock for all the big build-up ahead of Champions Night. It is Champions Night, live and free on Pluto TV. And Monday morning, Robert Thornton the Thorn is back for the 5th instalment of Double Trouble. Join us on Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. 144 players started, and we are now down to the final 6. 7 o'clock. Do not miss the earliest start time. We will be here live, and we will be crowning a new Modus Super Series champion. Make sure you join us. We will all be here, and we hope you will be too. Thank you very much for watching, and it's a very good night.
Michael Huntley!
Henry Coates.
Ashley Coleman!